Dunkin' Donuts. And by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Well, we welcome you back to Fenway Park. A chilly night here from Fenway with a breeze blowing in from center field. Lights are on as we get it started. As we take a look at the visiting Atlanta Braves starting 9 tonight. Jason Hayward will lead it off again for the Braves. He's in right field with B.J. Upton in center. Freddie Freeman is at first base with Justin Upton in left field. Evan Gattis, a late addition, is going to do the catching for the first time in the series. He bats fifth. Ryan Doman is the DH batting sixth with Chris Johnson at third base. Tommy La Stella just called up today by the Braves. And Ramiro Pena bats ninth at shortstop for Atlanta. On the mound tonight for the Red Sox as the starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. John Lackey makes his 11th start of the year, coming in at 5-3 with a 3.58 earned run average. 59 strikeouts to 14 walks, and opponents hitting at 263 against John Lackey. This is the second time that he's ever faced the Atlanta Braves, and last time out a no decision against Tampa Bay, although a very good outing against the Rays. 7 shutout innings, striking out 3 and walking only 1.
And here's the Red Sox defense brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Holt, Bogarts, Pedroia, and Nava over at first base today. In the outfield, Johnny Gomes back in his more familiar left field. Jackie Bradley Jr. holding down center. Sizemore in right with those 2 gold gloves. And there's your battery, Lackey and Przynski.
The umpiring crew tonight, James Hoy has the play calling the balls and strikes with Bill Welke at first base. John Tampani is at second base, and the crew chief Bob Davidson, the third base umpire tonight. This game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum. And the conditions tonight, you see the breeze. The flags are a gust here, and it's 47 degrees. Isn't it almost June? The breeze is in from center at 12 miles per hour, and the forecast is for clouds the remainder of the night, but hopefully we are precipitation free, which was a concern earlier today. Now the Red Sox and Braves continuing this unusual series here at Fenway Park. A home and home, 2 games in Atlanta, now 2 games here at Fenway Park. And John Lackey ready to work here tonight. Jason Hayward standing in on the left side, and the first pitch is fouled off to the left out of play.
No surprise, Hayward out there hacking at that first pitch. John Lackey, with the reputation of throwing a ton of fastballs, 80% at times. Really had a great breaking ball in his last start and used that very effectively.
In there for strike 2, 0-2. Getting a chance to see a little bit more of Jason Hayward in this series and what he brings to the table. Got a little pop in his bat for a leadoff man, not your typical leadoff guy. 4 home runs, and including 1 in this series as he lifts it to shallow left. This is trouble. Out goes Bogarts. He's got the best chance, and he makes the running catch. Wow, deep into left field goes Xander Bogarts. Johnny Gomes did not get a good read on that at all.
Gomes had a long way to go because he was playing into left center field. Bogarts knew that, and he knew from the crack of the bat that he was going to have to go out there and cover a lot of ground. And, man, you don't see a shortstop go out that far and catch too many balls.
1 down here in the first inning for B.J. Upton. Very familiar with playing here at Fenway Park with all of his years spent as a Tampa Bay Ray. And so far, the Braves have been very aggressive here against John Lackey. Freddie Gonzalez's Atlanta Braves 28-23. They have a 1.5 game lead over the Miami Marlins atop the National League East. But of course dropping the last 2 games to the Red Sox. Foul tipped, 1-2.
Well, I think Lackey, unless he gets ahead right here like he has and gets 2 strikes, he might mess around with some breaking balls. But I don't think Lackey figures that Upton can catch up with his fastball. Kind of been a problem for Upton. B.J. Upton, he's got all that extra movement in his swing, too many waggles, can't get that front foot down in time, and consequently late. Watch the way Upton swings the bat. They're trying to quiet him down. We've talked about it the entire 3-game series so far. but right before he swings the bat, he really has a lot of extra bat movement when the pitch is on its way.
Fouled off to the right, 2-2 the count. Yeah, they want to quiet him down, right? I mean, keep the hands as quiet as possible.
Yeah, and I think it's the point, he's done it so long, he really doesn't even realize he's doing it that much. You watch that left foot. If it doesn't get down in time, he can't hit.
Their defensive swing there fouls it off. Next pitch will be the 8th of this at bat. Numbers on the rise in the last 6 games at 292. Still, though, for the season, hitting at 210. He's deep in the box. A good distance from the plate. Swing and a miss, and Lackey strikes him out. Goes to the slider to get him. 2 down.
Excellent pitch from Lackey right here. You see the motion and the pitch down and away, unreachable for Upton, and he saw so much hard stuff. Now he tried to gear himself up to hit it. When you see the slider, you get out in front, no chance.
2 down for Freddie Freeman, hitting a .305 average. To left field down the line, and this is going to get in for a hit over his Gomes to play it quickly. Freddie Freeman's headed for second base, and he's going to get there on the slide. A double with 2 down for Freddie Freeman.
A little surprising right here, Johnny Gomes, who had a long way to go to get this ball, but he usually makes a much stronger throw into second base. Freddie Freeman, after he realizes this is going to get down, he knows he's going to have to hustle into second base. Let's see what happens to Gomes down there. I don't think he had a good grip on that ball. I think he kind of flipped the ball from his glove to his throwing hand, didn't get the grip he normally does, and didn't make the strong throw that he normally does.
2 down, Freeman in scoring position at second base, and here's Justin Upton. Upton coming in at .311, 13 homers and 33 runs batted in. Like you want to know where that was, as it was called the ball. 2-0.
Justin Upton clearly with the bigger offensive numbers between the two brothers, but Justin watched BJ get the biggest contract in Atlanta Brave history, a 5-year $75 million deal that they showered BJ Upton with. What's he going to want?
How about the roads to home splits for Justin Upton? Pretty dramatic.
Yeah, his whole career he's been that way. He's always been able to hit better on the road or at home than he has on the road. It was interesting. Mike Cameron, former Red Sox player, had visited the Red Sox down in Atlanta. He was the same way. He was playing in Seattle.
That'll get in there for a strike. 3-1. Of course, Mike Cameron playing here with Boston, and sounds like his son is going to be a very high draft choice, from what I understand.
One of the best high school players in the country. Cameron used to joke and laugh around and run around his home clubhouse wearing his road uniform because he hit so much better on the road.
Fouled off, full count. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Tonight, Preplay predicts John Lackey goes 7 1/3 innings, allowing 6 hits and 3 earned runs. Freddie Freeman with a 2-out double. Justin Upton waiting here on a payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Lackey strikes him out the high fastball at 94 miles an hour to get the job done. Red Sox coming up from Fenway.
Yeah, how are we doing that?
Manny Ramirez. Back at Fenway Park, as we are scoreless here at Fenway, we head to the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It is Brock Holt at third base, with Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second base, David Ortiz at DH. With Pierzynski doing the catching, it is Gomes in left, Sizemore in right, and Nava at first base, as it'll be Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field batting ninth. We head here to the bottom of the first inning, and Brock Holt leading it off here for Boston. Holt, Bogaerts, and Pedroia to lead it off here in the inning. Gavin Floyd deals with the pitch up high, ball one. It is an honor to have with us, back from 2004, Manny Ramirez in the house. Great to see you, my friend. How are you?
Thank you for having me, bro.
Good to see you,
Hey,
man.
don't take off your pants.
Okay, I'll leave them on. I'll leave them on just for you.
Manny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man, and it's a blessing to be in here, especially last night. You know, being with a group of the guys and spending time with them and having fun. It brings a lot of good memories.
Well, Manny, now I understand you are going to go into coaching. But first of all, I got to ask you if you missed playing.
Player.
Coach player. You're going to play too. You're going to play?
Yeah.
You still can hit right now.
I can still hit.
You would like to play still, wouldn't you?
Why not? But we're going to put it in God's hand and see what he's going to bring.
What are the memories for you from '04? What sticks out for you the most?
My best memory was, you know, just watching David hit. You know, I think without David, we wouldn't went that far.
Yeah, Manny, it surprises me that you say you came in last night with a group of guys just to have some fun, because you just really never had that much fun when you played. I don't get it. I mean, maybe nobody had as much fun as you did.
Well, you know, when I did play here in Boston, you know, I like to enjoy myself, play the game, and laugh, because that's what the game is supposed to be. You know, you're supposed to respect the game and enjoy it.
You had the chance, you mentioned, to play with David, and you think about some of the great 3-4 combinations ever in Major League Baseball. How much did it help to have David hitting right around you?
Man, David, let me tell you, David still surprised me, because he's in the top of his game all the time, and he's like Barry Bonds, you know, like you cannot miss a spot, because if you miss it, you're gonna go and ask for a new ball.
Hey, Manny, you know, people talk about your hitting and your ability to hit, and you're often considered one of the smartest hitters in the game. Do you feel that way?
Well, I never got a chance to stop and to think about all that, but David did help me a lot. You know, sometimes when I was hitting and when I was struggling, you know, he used to help me too and tell me, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, and I think that helped me a lot.
In your coaching duties now, will you talk to players more about what they're doing physically, or the things that they think about when they're at the plate?
Well, I think that the best part is in your mind, but I think now that I'm gonna be a coach and a player too, you gotta be able to listen how they feel and what is in their mind.
Oh, it is great to have all of your teammates back here. Now, I'm amazed by how many guys came back for this. This is great to have you all back.
Man, he's awesome, bro. This is unbelievable having us back.
Now down to first base goes Xander Bogaerts. You look back on your career here in Boston and think about how special it must have been to play here in front of these fans.
It was awesome, bro. They're the best fan in the whole world, and me playing here, to be honest, it make me a better player, because every night I got to be on top of my game.
Now, you're really good, Manny, at kind of passing the credit around, too. We're talking to you. You talk about David. You talk about some of the other guys. You talk about Schilling. But this team doesn't win a championship in '04 without you either.
Well, we a team. You know, we got Pedro, Schilling, you know, Derek Lowe. You know, I think everybody did their part.
Yeah, everybody was pretty good.
Everybody was pretty good, and the key was that we stayed together.
Here you are coming out of the wall. Not the first time you've come out from behind the wall here at Fenway Park either.
Man, that's awesome, man. I can't believe it. You know, this is a gift that I would never forget. And I know I'm working for the Cubs, but someday, you know, I would like to come here and work for the Sox.
Well, I remember Manny being Manny. Manny is still Manny after all these years, 10 years later. Does it seem like 10 years since that happened here?
Everything went so fast, you know, and you just got to go enjoy it, because time is flying.
Manny, over the last couple years, what have you been doing before they asked you to come back and play and coach?
Well, me and my wife and my family, we be preaching. I got 4 years in the church, and I'll be growing in the will of God, and I'm just be, telling people my testimony, what I did in the field, all my mistakes, and what I'm doing right now.
Do you feel like it's actually easier to speak to people about that because you have made some mistakes and you say, hey, here's some things that I've done. I did some great things, but I also did some things maybe you shouldn't do, and you can learn from that as well?
Yes, and like I tell everybody, a lot of people ask me, hey, you regret what you did? And to be honest to you, I tell them, hey, I don't regret it, because if not, I wouldn't get to know Jesus Christ.
Well, looking back on the guys you played with, and you realize how incredible Pedro Martinez was. I mean, when it was going on here, I think people realized how dominant he was in the game, but he could be as good as there's ever been.
He was one of the best in the league, and it's a blessing to play with a guy like that. Schilling, David, Pedroia, Euclid, we got it all, and it's hard to find that in the whole team.
Pedro Martinez, of course, here tonight, and we hope to talk to him as well, as so many of the 04 guys are back here at Fenway Park, gathered together again, as Dustin Pedroia bats a 1-out, 1-on. This one fouled off to the right. If you could point to a favorite moment of yours in your career, what would you say that was, and what was an incredible career?
To be honest with you, I never stopped, to look at myself or one of the best players in the game. I always play the game for fun. A lot of people told me, "Oh, you got 500 home runs." I never knew how many I got, because I just went and enjoyed the moment.
You were one guy that truly could block out everything else around you. I've never seen as many athletes be able to do that, and you could do that. I mean, you seemed like you locked in on the moment, and what was around you did not bother you.
I think I got that from my mom. My mom is just the same way I am. I think I got that from that. I turned the page. Every time, I remember I strike out like 3 times in a game, and the last at bat, I would say to my mind, this is the moment that I wanted to be in, and I hit a home run.
Well, Manny, you were one of the best at kind of going into a ball game, or maybe even going into an entire 3-game series with a game plan, and you stuck to it. A lot of guys, they might go 0 for 2 thinking, I'm going to sit on a breaking ball here or something. They go 0 for 2. They want to scrap that game plan because now they're panicking and they need to get a hit. You would stick with what you wanted to do until you got the pitch you wanted, and then you'd mash it.
Well, we did a lot of study, me and David. I always had my plan, and I said, well, if they're going to beat me, they're going to beat me with my plan, and that's what I did.
Pedroia sends it out to right field. Jason Hayward is out there to make the catch. And there are 2 outs here in the first inning.
I want to know, Manny, we've asked you a couple questions, and you've said a couple times you haven't really stopped to think about it. When are you going to sit back and say, I was pretty darn good at this game, and maybe think about where you belong in sort of the history of baseball with how good you really are?
Well, like we're talking about, we did a lot of things wrong. And now that I'm with God, I realize that it was wrong, and I have to pay the price. But to be honest, I don't know. I'm focused, on preaching the word of God, live what I'm preaching, and be an example for my kids.
David Ortiz batting here with 2 outs in the inning, taking a pitch up top. How much do you watch baseball these days?
I watch the Sox all the time, and I watch the Blue Jays, and I watch it sometimes. I watch it a lot.
Keep in touch with a lot of guys you played with over the years?
Yeah, I keep in touch with David, Pedro. We try to stick together and see what's going on.
In the dirt here to Ortiz, 2-0. It is amazing what he is accomplishing, especially at this age. I mean, he hasn't lost anything.
Well, he still got his timing. Now he's in better shape. He's smart, and I look at him and the way he came from Minnesota and the adjustment that he did, and see that he's like Barry Bonds, that you cannot miss a spot. It's a blessing for him. He deserves it because he got a good heart, not in the field, also off the field.
Manny, what did he change? Because from what I remember way back then, Minnesota thought that he kind of had a hole inside, that he couldn't get to that pitch inside. You can't throw him inside anymore. He'll mash you. I mean, how did he make that change?
Well, when David came here, we worked with him, having a routine with the weights, working out in the cages, and before he didn't know how to use his legs that much the way he uses it now. So that's why they cannot go inside on him, because he started very late. He started very early, like Jose Bautista, and so he's recognizing that pitch halfway the mound.
Yep.
What amazed me that people don't realize is how hard Manny Ramirez worked and how early he was here on a game day to work out. People talk about Pedroia today, but that was Manny Ramirez before. You worked very hard at your craft for a long time. People didn't know about here in the gym and here at the ballpark.
Well, I had a routine, and I always loved the game, and I always wanted to be one of the best in the game, and I just create that habit.
It's a funny game, Manny, and you just mentioned it, how pitchers, they pitch with their arm, but everyone says, you really pitch with your legs. Same thing hitting. When you're swinging your arms, but your base is from your legs, and you had such strong legs, and you learned at an early age how to use those to gain leverage in your swing.
Exactly. If you watch every good hitter, David Ortiz, Pujols, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, when they do the leg kick, you could see they throw the back knee first and then come the arms. That's what all the good hitters do.
How were you able to keep your timing mechanism so right on? Because you used to hover. You'd get up there and kind of hover, and a lesser man might not be able to stay back.
Right.
You get to lunging, but you never seemed off balance. You were able to get up there, sit, and load on that back leg, and then, as you said, throw the back leg first. That's hard to do.
Everything is about repetition. The more you play, the more you practice. That's it, repetition.
Yeah. Over and over and over.
Like, I haven't played since last year, June. So now I'm going back to play. So it's going to take me a lot of time, a lot of swing to get back into the game mode.
How many swings on a normal day, let's just say 8 years ago, wherever you were playing, in your cage work, in your early work, in your extra batting practice before the game swings, how many swings a day do you think you took?
We probably took like 60 to 70. Like before we pee, we go with Eno and we hit probably 30 softballs to get loose, and then before the game at 6, we go back and hit another 30 or 40.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day. Everything is depend how you feel.
Right. Did you ever have a day when you said, I feel so good right now, I don't feel like I want to hit, I don't want to take extra batting practice?
I did that all the time, especially in 2007. It was weird that I never took BP outside because I was so strong mentally. I used to, come, shag, do maybe 10 softballs, and go inside.
Ready to go.
Manny Ramirez, thanks for joining us.
Wish I could do that.
Very nice to see
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thanks, man. Good to see you again.
From Fenway.
Thank you.
second inning as the Red Sox unable to score. Had 2 on there in the first inning, but could not get it in. And here is Evan Gattis. Lead it off here for the Braves. And a swing and a miss. Wonder what changed for Gattis is his wrist was bothering him and not able to be in the lineup in last night's game, and was not in the original starting lineup today, but all of a sudden he's in.
Yeah, Gattis was a scratch after the lineup was put out yesterday, and then he was an addition after the lineup was put out today. What an amazing story Evan Gattis has been. It's pretty well chronicled over the last year and a half. It was a number 23rd round pick out of the University of Texas Perryman Basin. No idea where that is.
I was going to say, we talked a little bit about that last night. Where is that again?
I have no idea.
13 interleague games in his career, hitting at .319. Not a part of the first 2 games of this 4-game series until now.
Became the 7th player in Brave history to hit a home run in his debut.
There's Pedroia in foul ground to make the catch for the first out of the second inning. Well, Steve, one of your favorite parts of the show is my view, and tonight, because the world champions from '04 are back, I decided to take a stroll down the hallway here at Fenway Park and get a look at some of the '04 championship teams. And some of the newspapers, they do such a great job putting out here at Fenway Park and what they look like, all the front pages of those championships.
Yeah, that is, you did a nice job on that. That is
Thanks.
Don's view. And if people want to follow me on Twitter at SteveLyons12, they'll find my favorite view
kind of
of Don.
Horrifying view. If you go to at Steven Lyons, this is down the third base line, and back there is Holt to make the catch for the second out. To submit your video, you're going to send it to On TV 536-536, On TV 536-536, and we'll put your video on. But yeah, you can check out at Steve Lyons because it's a little scary, actually, from what I hear.
Steve Lyons 12. I think I'll get thousands of more followers just because that they're anxious now not to see necessarily your view, but my view.
Talk about when you don't know that your picture's being taken. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that I've actually experienced that with you a few times already.
So 2 down here in the second inning.
There's some pictures being taken.
Chris Johnson fouls it off to the right out of play.
This game tonight's going to be quite a bit different, I think. It's certainly for the fans and even us with the '04 team in town here. We're going to have hopefully a bunch of visitors. I thought that was great to get a chance to catch up with Manny, and as a guy who's contrite and understands that some things that he did maybe weren't the way you should do them, and trying to change. It's not an easy thing to do.
Sounds like he has made many life changes.
Well, when Manny was in Los Angeles, I met his wife and 2 kids, and just great people, and obviously she's had a big influence on his life now.
Great inning for John Lackey, who struck out 3 in the ball game. We're scoreless through inning and a half from Fenway.
there was an actual game scheduled to be played at 7 o'clock after a pretty exciting and eventful pregame festivities, highlighting, of course, the 2004 World Series champion Red Sox. And hopefully that excitement and that energy carries over into the game here at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox haven't been too hot. Dropped 6 of their last home games, only 11-17 here at Fenway this season. Johnny Gomes admitting they have to turn it around, specifically at home, as he mentions in our Geico quote of the day.
We owe these fans, some good baseball. It'd be nice to get that win tonight. I don't think we're going to finish the season without another loss, so we just got to, continue playing good baseball. And, when we do hit a little bump in the road, we got to be able to turn the page pretty quick.
Well, interesting from Johnny Gomes, because the Red Sox at home, really, that is where they did so well last year. During the course of the entire year, have done so well over the years, using the buzz here that's the crowd at Fenway Park really to kind of feed off of, and for that not to be the case, kind of strange so far this year.
Yeah, I think they'll turn it around at home. I mean, this is going to be a better ball club. They're going to play better baseball, because if they don't, they're not going to be anywhere near the playoffs. Obviously, I think the team is optimistic. I think the fans still are. And we talked about it in the Open the other day. It's like, look, you're 8 games back right now. That some people say, oh, it's over. It's not over. You just need to peck away. You take short sections of the season and keep moving along.
He's Pena barehanded, and his throw is off the mark. Will get away, and headed to second base is Johnny Gomes. He's going to get there without a problem. Ramiro Pena knew he had to hurry at first base and throws it away.
Pena's been playing a lot of second base. People will remember him as Derek Jeter's backup in New York. He had a shoulder surgery, so he doesn't quite have the arm strength that he used to. But Gomes gets a great jump on this dribbler out of the box. He knows it's going to be a do-or-die play. And then, boom, reaction right away when the ball gets past him. This enables him to get to second base. If there's any hesitation or he's unaware that the ball gets by, he's not on second base right now. Scoring position now.
So a single and an error charged to Ramiro Pena at shortstop. Runner at second, nobody out, and Grady Sizemore the batter. Sizemore 3 for 9 so far in the series. There's a swing and a miss for strike one.
You see Sizemore on that pitch right there, trying to get out in front and hook the ball to right field. His job is to make sure that he hits the ball from second base to the first base line. Simply put, make sure that he gets Gomes to third base any way he can.
Outfield about straight away on Sizemore. Out there in center, B.J. Upton, who has manned center field here at Fenway Park plenty of times here with the Rays. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. Well, tonight's Braves starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Gavin Floyd, the former Chicago White Sox pitcher, once won 17 games as a member of the White Sox. 0-1 this year, but a 2.49 earned run average, 24 strikeouts to 5 walks. And opponents hitting at 273 against Floyd. Rounded foul over by the on deck circle. Heads up to Daniel Nava over there.
It's been kind of a strange start to the season for Sizemore, a guy who missed 2 years, created a lot of excitement out of spring training, made this ball club, got a lot of playing time, and then sat for a while. Now he's been back in the lineup fairly consistently. He's got a 3-game streak where he's hitting .385 over that streak, starting to swing the bat a little bit better. 4 extra base hits in that span.
Now, John Farrell, a busy day today, a lot of meetings in his office, a lot of different conversations. We find out tonight that Red Sox are placing Clay Buchholz on the 15-day DL. Retroactive to yesterday due to the hyperextended left knee. And they've called up Alex Wilson, call from the Paw Sox, active for tonight's game. This will kick away from Gaddis, and to third base goes Gomes. Gaddis unable to corral that. Gomes now 90 feet away.
This is one of the things that the Braves will have to live with Evan Gaddis. Missed a lot of time when he was traveling around the country in his car, just hanging out in Boulder, Colorado. He's not a great defensive catcher. It's not Brian McCann back there anymore. So occasionally they're going to have to deal with a ball in the dirt that skips away with runners on base.
Infield in all the way around now for the Braves early in this contest. Sizemore fouls it off himself. Still 2-2. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox with a threat here in the bottom of the second inning. Gomes at third, nobody out. Sounded like a broken bat, and it's grounded foul. He did fracture the bat. Pieces all the way around home plate. For every Red Sox hit this month, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to the Greg Hill Foundation. Echo Store and the Greg Hill Foundation respond immediately to improve the lives of local families touched by tragedy. To learn more, log on to echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider.
This is part of what I would call a productive at-bat for Sizemore already. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. During this at-bat, Gomes already got to third base. Now he's got a chance to drive him in.
And we'll see a 10th pitch in this at-bat now. Full count. There's ball 4, and Sizemore, the good at bat, heads on down to first base. That is a third walk given up by Floyd already.
He's not going to be around long if he's not able to throw the ball over the plate, and the Red Sox are certainly hoping that if he does, they'll have a chance to sting it a little bit.
So first and third, nobody out. Daniel Nava, the batter. 137, 2 homers, and 3 runs batted in. His second stint with the Red Sox this season. I want to ask you about the Clay Buchholz situation. It appeared that's where this was headed. As soon as we heard about the knee yesterday, that even though they were waiting for the bullpen session today that took place before the game, it did appear this is the way it was going.
Yeah, and you know, I think this will give him a chance to get right or just straighten some things out mechanically. He's had a tough time just kind of rushing. There's the move that you see right there. Alex Wilson up, Buchholz on the DL. The only problem is hopefully that knee issue isn't too substantial, because you want to be able to let him get work in and straighten some things out while he's on the DL. So when he comes off, he's kind of reinvented himself and ready to go again.
And a crazy week for Alex Wilson, up with the Red Sox when they were in Tampa Bay, back down to Pawtucket, back again. Because of the DL situation, we're able to do that when you place a player on the DL. Comes right back up again. Red Sox need the help in the pen for now until the spot comes up again for Clay Buchholz, and that conversation will be interesting too, to see who's going to fill that spot in the rotation. They got Dubront down and Buchholz out of the rotation right now.
Both guys clearly inconsistent, and certainly Buchholz had established himself. Dubront was trying to turn the corner, but you know, if you're not going to do the job, you give the opportunity to some of those kids on the farm down there who are starting to knock on the door at the big leagues. Maybe they get a shot to fill that spot.
Nava grounds one towards second base. Listella to second for 1. On to first for 2. Did keep the foot on the bag apparently at first, and in the back door comes Johnny Gomes to put the Red Sox on top 1-0. Braves able to turn the double play, but the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
You're always hoping to get a little bit more out of a first and third no-out situation. You bounce into the double play, but you do get Gomes here on the board, and now the Red Sox take the lead.
No RBI on the play for Nava. 2 down here in the second inning. Base is now empty. And it brings up Jackie Bradley Jr. Takes strike 1. Bradley 2 for 7 in the series at Atlanta.
Both of those hits coming in the final ball game.
2 for 4 last night. Couple of RBIs. On the ground down the first baseline, it is foul just to the right of the bag.
In this game, we hear the word confidence all the time. Oh, he's lost his confidence, or that will give him a lot of confidence. I don't like the word, because I truly believe that baseball players kind of fall out of bed with a lot of confidence. And if you don't have it, then you're not a guy that I want on my team. Now, you might lose your swagger a little bit. You know, you don't have that same role every once in a while. And I think that's what's happened to Bradley a little bit. Kind of hoping that last night's ball game will give him a little bit of that back. A couple hits, a couple RBIs. You know, makes you feel like you belong again. You did something in the game to help your team win. Maybe that'll be the start of some good things for him.
It's a piece, fouls it off.
If you're a Major League Baseball player, or you're a pro basketball player, you play in the NFL. If you're in baseball, you're 0 for your last 21. You wake up the next day thinking you're going to get 3 hits today. If you're the kind of guy that's going to put your tail between your legs and go home because you're 0 for your last 15, then you're right. You probably won't be getting too many more hits. Those guys don't generally make it to the big leagues. So confidence is sort of a, when I hear that word, I cringe a little bit, because I don't believe it. I believe these guys, they have tons of confidence all the time.
Swing and a miss, and Bradley strikes out. That's the second strikeout for Floyd. Red Sox grab a run, take a 1-0 lead through 2. Braves as we head to the top half of the third inning. Letting it off here for the Braves. Tommy La Stella just called up today. Pasternak, who played at second base last night, sent back to AAA.
Well, he looked overmatched.
A couple of tough fielding plays in last night's game.
Either that or he made them tough.
Ground ball to second base. Pedroia makes this play for the first out of the third inning. Well, tonight's list is from the 2004 World Series run, and favorite moments from 2004 on the list tonight. Agree? Disagree? Give us your opinion at #NESSONList.
Well, Don, as I said before, I think this is going to be a unique game with some of the visitors we may have in the booth, and it's a little bit distracting from the ball game, but it's such a great night to have that 0-4 team back here. But certainly don't want to get lost in the translation here. The night that Lackey's already starting, he looks pretty dominating tonight. He has a chance of having an excellent pitching performance.
One down here in the third inning for Ramiro Pena, Don Orsillo, Steve Lyons, Gary Streisky from Fenway Park. Game 3 of this 4-game series, a home-and-home series. Atlanta and Boston, and the Red Sox enjoy a 1-0 lead with the Braves batting in the third. 0-2.
You get the feeling that Lackey is so comfortable right now with all of his pitches. We talk about how he loves to throw that fastball, but lately the breaking ball has been just as effective, and he's just so comfortable knowing that he has options that he can go to anytime.
Down the left field line, foul and out of play. Now, last year, watching John Lackey pitch, you get the feeling we were seeing a healthy John Lackey maybe for the first time in a Red Sox uniform.
And, you know, I think he's very proud of that, because he certainly knows how the fans reacted to him when he signed the big deal to come here and then was unproductive and then got hurt. It's certainly difficult to have good years when you're injured. And, you know, I think he took it maybe a little bit personally. And, you know, when you're an athlete and you're a big hoss like Lackey, you know, and when it gets personal, I think you feel like you have something to prove. And he came back and did that last year, and he's been pretty consistent so far this season too.
Left center field on the run is Bradley Jr. He'll dive and not come close, but backing him up is Gomes, and he will hold Pena to just a single out there as Bradley Jr. gave it a shot, but came up well short. There's a base hit for Pena, second hit of the game for the Atlanta Braves.
Tell you what, Lackey a little bit upset because it was a pretty good pitch. Pena was way out in front of that, off balance, and kind of just dragged the bat head through the zone, but he got the good part of the bat on it. Look at that. That was like a Johnny Damon swing right there. Not exactly sure what JBJ was diving for there. It was a little far away from it. He'll give you an effort, though.
Second time through the order now for John Lackey. Jason Hayward popped out to the shortstop in the first inning. And it was a long running catch for Xander Bogaerts. He was well into left field to make the catch on Jason Hayward in the first inning.
There's two guys on this Atlanta Braves team, and they come up back-to-back at bats. Upton and Jason Hayward seem to stand a mile off the plate. Hayward's got the long reach. He's 6'5", 250 with some long arms, and he wants to be able to make sure the bat head is over the plate when he extends. But you watch how far in the, not so much back in the box, but towards the Red Sox dugout.
I'd be curious to know how many times he has gotten out on pitches that are away from him or outside that he can't get to because he's so far away.
Like that one right there.
For instance, Exhibit A. As I was saying.
Funny you bring that up. This is part of the problem there. If you can bust him inside and then go hard away out there right on the black. Didn't look like he could reach that, but he dives a little bit sometimes, and a hitter that can dive out over the plate, and if you make contact, boy, you have a lot of extra whip, some good power to drive the ball the other way, and Hayward does.
Two down for B.J. Upton, jumping on that first pitch and fouling it back.
B.J. Upton's kind of the same example with a big open stance. His left leg nearly out of the batter's box, but he is a diver. What he does is he'll take that front foot and move it from way out, almost out of the box, and he'll close it down to take his swing.
This one fouled off to the right, out of play. Well, we're spending the night enjoying the 2004 team, and Pedro Martinez will join us next half inning here from Fenway Park. The Red Sox and the Braves. A tight one here from Fenway right now, 1-0. Red Sox on top. 0-2 pitch to B.J. Upton. Time called. We've talked about it a lot. Watching Lackey from afar with the Angels, you always enjoyed what kind of competitor he was there, and we're seeing it here now in Boston.
Bulldog.
0-2 pitch. Broken back grounder, Pedroia's way. At second base, he'll fire to first for the out. It ends things here in the third inning. Pedro Martinez will be in the house. We come back, 1-0 Red Sox. At Fenway Park, Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. Pedro Martinez joining us here in the booth. And Pedro, it's got to be great. We've seen a lot of you over the last couple of years, but it's got to be great to see all of your teammates back here again tonight.
Yeah, a lot of new faces that I didn't get to see the last time I was here. Always nice to see the same group of guys, the same attitude, the same mentality. It's just great to get to see them and interact with my colleagues in 2004.
Yeah, that's really kind of insightful thing to say. You don't really think of that. You think of a group of guys getting together that are all friends, but I like the fact that you're thinking the mentality of those guys that won that team. That's fun to be around again.
Yes, it is. It's a special. I would say it's more than that. It's unique. What we had going as teammates was totally different than I saw in every other team that I played in. I played in a whole bunch of good teams,
yep.
but that one was unique. There was a unique sense of about this group of guys that we had together in 04.
It was great to see Manny. It's been a long time since I've seen Manny. It was pretty cool.
Well, it took a lot of us pushing forward so that Manny could come over and kind of make up with Boston again, and it's great to see him. I'm relieved now knowing that he spoke to Jack, that he was accountable for everything he did wrong, and see him smile again in Fenway Park, and also the reception that the fans gave him, it was just great. Gave me a huge relief.
You talk about the uniqueness of that ball club, and you did play on a lot of good teams, but was it the combination of talent and fun that you guys had? Do you think that was the difference?
We were normally you say that your true family is the team you play with, I think that's the closest you can be to a family. We used to go out together, hang out together, ride the cars together. We did so many things together, and you know, we had a special bond. We were the closest to a family that you could probably find.
You know, it's funny, you look at last year's team, and I know you were around last year as an instructor with the organization last year, you know, around a lot this team last year, and I thought there were a lot of comparisons that could have been drawn from last year's team and the character that they had to the 04 team. Did you see that as well?
Yeah, there were some similarities between the last year team and the 04 team. But I think we were a little louder, and we had a little bit more fun than these guys did, and we were totally, you know, different than they were. This is more of a serious team than we were. We did not pay attention to many things that probably these guys do, and we were a loose bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, we were called idiots. We led the league in bad hair. We led the league in handshakes and hugs and all that.
You had some sweet Jerry curls going, man, I'll tell you. I know we have video of that again too. Boy, whew, that was some good long hair you had working.
Me and Manny were the Greña boys.
Yeah.
The Greña boys.
You know, I want to kind of get under your skin a little bit, because I know when you were a young player coming up in the Dodger organization, they traded you because you were too small. You were never going to amount to much.
I know that was painful, because I guess everybody took a pick at.
Ball just drops out of nowhere. Miscommunication there. Listella gave up, and B.J. Upton just coming in all the way and is amazed that ball was not caught.
If you're the center fielder, you got to catch that ball. Listella is going out there for it, but I think B.J. could have gotten here and caught it. He's pretty much under it, and now he's deferring. If you're the center fielder, you don't defer. You're the quarterback. You tell everyone else to get out of the way, and you catch that ball.
He's got seniority.
Yeah, man, you want that. Or I'm sorry, Pedro, you want that ball caught if you're pitching, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Those are things that could end up changing the game completely.
Yep. Well, I want to ask you about David Ortiz, too. I asked Manny the same thing. I mean, he's the one guy that is still getting it done right now, and amazing at his age how well he's getting it done. 30-100 last year. Looks to be on pace again this year. I mean, he's been an incredible story.
Well, David has that talent. David is really smart. He knows what he's doing. He matured in such a way that David now understands even the locations that they're going to be using in certain situations. You have to give David a lot of credit for actually taking, that role of a leader over the team and actually doing what he's doing as a DH. He takes it seriously. He works hard. He's always on top of his game. As soon as he gives up an out, he's inside looking at what he did wrong. Definitely, David is a true professional, and he gives Manny a lot of credit for teaching him how to prepare before a game and how to go inside and hit early and do all those things that he does.
Pedro, when people talk about pitching, the in thing to say lately is that you have to change the eye level of the hitter. You know that you can't let them consistently see the same pitch. To me, when you pitched, the thing that made you so great, and I could be wrong about this, but me watching you, is that every pitch was exactly the same. Your arm angle was the same whether you were throwing a changeup or a breaking ball or a fastball. So you didn't change the eye level of the hitter. That made it harder. He had no idea what was coming. He saw the same thing every time.
Well, I had a very steady mechanic when it came to pitching. I understood my body. I understood what I could do, how long I could hold the ball. And I was really flexible as well. I was able to hold the ball a little bit longer than the average guy my height. And I worked really hard at making it look like everything I was throwing was the same speed, except that it had a different location and movement.
There are people in this city that will say that you were the greatest pitcher they saw of their generation around here, and it's hard to argue with the success.
I'm two of them too, Steve.
Hey, what's going on?
Not a big deal. Continue on, please.
Yeah, he was all right. He was all right.
Kevin Millar has taken over our television station.
Yeah, well, he does this kind of stuff for a living sometimes. Hey, the thing, I guess, you just talked about your flexibility and knowing your body and stuff, but can you put in your own words what made you so great?
I think more than anything was the fact that I never let anything negative get close to me. And my persistency about, pitching and believing that I could do anything anybody else could do, I think developed a little bit of a chip on my shoulder.
Just a little one?
Just a little one. An hour before the game, so somehow my mood would just change. And a lot of it had to see with the way they thought I was when I was in the minor leagues and coming up with the Dodgers, always denying me the opportunity to come up and actually do what I could do. And every time I think about it, I kind of got angry. You know, and that actually helped me out because I didn't expect to make any friends. I was called headhunter, so I didn't care that you call me whatever you call me. And not only that, I had the right attitude to approach the game on game day.
And you could, you beat the crap out of Zimmer too. That was good. I mean, you backed it up. To me, if you're a pitcher and if you can't pitch inside, you're not going to win a lot of games. And I think you did it right. You're like, I'm going to go inside there, and I'm going to miss inside. I might hit you. Too bad, part of the game. But I'm not going to leave one out over the plate so you can hammer it somewhere.
Not only that, and it was just about executing what I wanted to execute. If I miss away and I threw the ball 3 or 4 feet away, I know that I'm doing what I was supposed to do. When I went in with determination. I said, you either move or I get you, or give me that easy out. But it was just the way I was taught. I was taught to actually have an idea. I had a purpose with every pitch. Sometimes I would just throw 4 balls because I knew that the guy I have behind is the one I want, really. Yep. And if you chase mine, well, thank you very much. But that was my idea. I had a purpose with everything I was doing.
A.J. Pierzynski down here 0-2. David Ortiz grounding into the shift and beating it out as it turned out. He beat it out.
Good wheels.
Did not challenge a decision there by Freddie Gonzalez. Got the thumbs up this time. That means they're not going to challenge. We figured that out now, the Braves. But it is 1st and 3rd, 0-2 the count. David still can get down the line pretty well.
Well, David is a better athlete than a lot of people think. If you watch David playing first base, he will surprise you. David has good hands, good mobility. David is a good athlete, and he was a pretty good basketball player. If you guys didn't know that,
here he is down the line right here, beating this play out. Good hustle.
That's also in the package.
It's all part of it.
You talked, Pedro, about how you were taught coming up to the minor leagues. Who were your greatest instructors? Who were the guys that you learned the most from?
Well, starting off in the Dominican Republic, Eliodoro Arias, a coach that was there for 27 years, actually helped out Ramon, Juan Guzman, Pedro Astacio, developed a whole bunch of guys that came up through the Dodgers organization. He was my first instructor, and then I had Guy Conti, who was the one that was responsible to switch the grip on the changeup that I threw. I used to throw a full wrap changeup, and he switched it to a circle changeup, and he did really well for me. And
back up in the center field here, and from third base comes Bogaerts. A big 2-out RBI single for A.J. Pierzynski gives the Red Sox a 2-0 lead, and a good at bat for Pierzynski.
Was that during a time when the circle change wasn't quite as popular then? It was kind of a newer pitch?
It was kind of a newer pitch. I had seen a lot of changeups, but not in a circle way, the way I gripped it. And it took me like 3 days to actually get it tuned in. But I play catch, like he said. You play long toss with it until you finally get the feel where you have to deliver the ball, and that's what I did. And I was able to throw it, and believe me, that after the fastball, that was my best pitch.
Yep.
Looking back over the course of your entire career here at Fenway Park, we go back to this many times, but 1999's All-Star Game is still going to be close to the top of the list, that performance for you. I know you ended up on the DL after it, but it had to be a great memory.
But it wasn't really because of the All-Star Game. It was for the time that I spent without throwing, and Joe Kerrigan, being really stubborn, did not allow me to throw a mini side session, and I went in with 9 complete days.
Yeah.
Without throwing. So the first thing you do is, first of all, you're cranky because I had just pitch, and if you don't throw the ball again, well, guess what? You're gonna save some of the soreness and everything that we have after the game.
Out to center field and the end of the inning, and to our conversation with Pedro Martinez. Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Kevin Millar is coming up next.
Watch out for 1-5.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
You ever in the same place for more than a day or two?
No.
Back at Fenway Park as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. Freddie Freeman, Justin Upton, and Evan Gattis on the field. But in the booth, we have Kevin Millar. It's time for some intentional talk right here in the middle of our game. They doing 1-5?
I feel like Madonna right now. Is this how you guys roll? How close do you keep this? Like
I keep it pretty close.
2 fingers back. Like how do you?
Yeah, no, just make sure it's in front.
Yeah, you are close.
I'm pretty close.
Never had a headset on before? Come on, man.
Well, you guys both have beautiful eyes. My goodness gracious. Gorgeous man.
4-3 on the put out of first base. How cool is it to have all these guys back with you and see a lot of faces you haven't seen in a while? I mean, you see a lot of baseball people, but not the old floor guys every day.
It's amazing how fat everybody is.
There's some fat people on this team.
Yeah, let's just get that out there. I mean, it's like, you got Trot.
Trot's not going to like that.
Did you mix a salad with lemon wedges once?
He's not going to like that.
Trot was the first guy I saw today. I got a hug and I go, wow, you're fat, man. You're fat. What happened, man?
I mean, Keith Folk, Jason Varitek. I mean, everybody's really fat. So, I mean, it was really great to see everybody that's healthy. Yeah. We haven't missed a meal.
It was like a high school reunion.
Right?
You go back, no one has any hair. They're all fat.
I'm just like, bro. I mean, they just said, that's it. I quit. I'm going to sit here and we're going to eat. Yeah. Oh, I love them all.
Not everybody has their own TV show. I mean,
no,
that's
right.
it.
I'm famous. I'm famous. I'm a movie star, Donnie. It's been great, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, intentional suck. It's on the network. Oh, we have some fun, though.
Well, you're back here a lot, though. I mean, you're here all the time. I saw you here yesterday doing an interview. Were you here yesterday already? You were here for the thing last night.
I worked Monday through Friday. I was doing the show alone. It was. By the way, it was 86 degrees with Tom Warner Monday. We tee off at Old Sandwich with Wakefield. Yep. By the way, Wakefield needs to give me more strokes. He's like the big fake cheater.
He's good.
I'm a 2. No, you mean you're a +2, Tim. But anyways, then yesterday I'm doing the show. I was down there. It went from like 75 to 51. My nose was running. I'm like, this is weird. We're in May. But yeah, so I was here yesterday.
You've lived it.
Yeah.
You've seen this before.
Right, that cold front came. But John Farrell, I did say, I apologize. It'll be the last time I'm here because I've been here 3 times since the season, right? No.
Okay.
He's just tired of Millar. You know, that bad cackle voice.
That happened.
I got a bad laugh.
You sit right by the dugout, too, when you're here, so they know you're here.
Yeah, I'm loud.
Yeah,
you know,
there's that.
And then Farrell, like, sticks his hat today. He's like, geez. I go, sorry, John. This will be the last time I'm here, and I'm out.
I always said this in 04. You would hear Millar before you would see Millar.
Him, exactly.
You know, you could hear him somewhere, a hallway.
It's okay if he was a good player, Steve, but you're like me. We sucked. You were just like me. We got the most out of our suck. Like, they're great guys.
No, I'll tell you what, that 04
Because you were terrible, too, though, right?
I was.
Yeah,
I was way worse than terrible.
Than me?
Yes. Yes. You see any rings on my fingers, man? No, there's no rings on my That team needed that. They needed you. They needed that personality. They needed the ringleader. There weren't enough guys that would be loose if someone allowed him to do it, and you were the guy that allowed him to do it.
You know what it is? Guys get too cool to have fun. We play a game. At the end of the day, one thing I did is I loved coming to the field every day. I love my teammates. I love laughing. I love bragging on each other, yourself, whatever it is. But this is a game. This is the greatest time in your life. And sometimes guys get too cool, like, whoa, I'm making too much money. I've got my agent, my cell phone. Like, come on, bro. This is what it's about. Yeah. Enjoy it. And I always tell guys now, trust me, I sit in that locker room, and I watch all these old guys come in, the ex-players, and I'm like, yeah, you kind of ignore them, and that's never going to be me. It goes like that. You look up, and it goes like that. I mean, you talk to Pedroia, and these guys almost get 10 years in. Mm-hmm. Remember when this guy got drafted, I thought he stopped growing in 4th grade. I said, Theo, that's your first rounder?
He did.
Hey, there's no one coast to coast better than this guy. And what's he do? My Rookie of the Year, MVP, Silver Slugger, and I start doing I'm the real 1-5. Really, he's the ultimate real 1-5. But moral of the story is have fun. Play the game hard, play the game right, and this city adopted like our group because we were not very good players. We were a good team.
And you think about a guy like Petey too, because that's his whole life. Everyone said you can't play, you're too small, you're not any good.
Right.
And he just got right back in their face, and that was an attitude too. That was about him telling himself he was better than everyone else.
Yeah, it's just part of this game. What makes a game great? You could be 6'10". Or you can be 4'4" like Dustin Pedroia, and he gives every kid hope out there. And that's a true story. I say it funny, but I say it true. You watch this kid play. It's an MVP of the league right there. And remarkable if you're around him. He's 5'8.5", 167 pounds, but he gives you hope.
I want to ask you about the pregame ceremony because it was pretty cool. They had Dave Roberts up there and Bill Miller saying, don't forget what Kevin Millar did, and they are reminded all the time what Kevin Millar did because Kevin Millar will tell you what Kevin Millar did.
Let's get something straight. Let me stretch this out a little bit. Kevin Millar loves some Kevin Millar, okay? And if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you?
Well, I know what you're talking about.
It's really a tired act. We've talked about it as many times. I'm really a tired act, but that's okay, right? I mean, it's okay.
Hey, the only thing you have to make sure is that you don't get tired of yourself. That's all.
The wife's tired of me. I mean, I know that. She's tired of my
stick. That's not happening anytime soon.
I mean, every time we go, like, oh, yeah, she hears the 04 champ. But funny thing is, like, this 04 champ thing I've always said, right? That's my, hey, I'm an 04 champ. I'm an 04. Can I sit back there at the restaurant? I'm an 04 champ. Well, here we are 10 years later.
Right.
So it wasn't that big of a deal. Like Chris Rose, like, are you kidding me? We're still doing this 04 champ. I'm like, dude, this is big.
It's still big.
You're going to be hanging your hat on that for the rest of your life. And you should. It is a big thing.
You know what? It is, and you don't realize how big it is because of all the fans. They remind you, like, what a cool thing, because we were one big family. I always say that. There was 4 million people in this town that we were a family.
And they remember it, and they probably remember it most fondly, and now there's been 3 of them, which is nice. But that was the first one, and it was after 86 years. I mean, you think of the emotion of that one.
Yeah, that you can't make up. We walked off Game 7 in 03, Aaron Boone homer, miserable, crying. Game 7 in 2004, same team, bam, Lackey strikes him out. Next thing you know, we're going commercial. Great story, Millar. Maybe we'll stay around.
We'll shock the world, and you did. Kevin Millar, thank you very much.
All right, Dave.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Stevie.
Good to see you.
people who care about your community. Eastern Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern puts you first at easternbank.com. It's on to the last half of the fourth inning here at Fenway Park. 2-0. Red Sox have the lead. We're going to keep Kevin Millar around another half inning. Really had to fight him on it.
Yeah, where's my story?
You can finish the story, but I want to ask you something, too, because he did an important thing last year. At the end of the year, at the end of the championship year, you were part of a band of bearded brothers in narrating it, which was pretty cool for a lot of people to see that video, first of all. But how cool was it to be a part of that?
First time ever. Tom Warner had asked, and I was like, all right, yeah, let's try this. I've never done it. I didn't realize how much you got to read, right? And there were certain things in there, obviously, the somber type, the bombing instance. So you're reading the script, and you're like, wow. Then it got emotional. You're like, this is amazing, because sometimes in sports, it's just in the cards. I don't care who you are last year. The Red Sox were going to win this World Series. It was just the team, the group, the city. It just, after that situation that went on the marathon, yep. It was like you couldn't make it up, right? And so doing that, it was the first time I've ever done it. I felt terrible, but it's amazing how they edit now. And just like when you're reading that thing, yeah, they really fixed everything you're just reading right there, Donnie. Yeah.
Well, how much, and I asked Pedro this, how much could you draw any comparisons, if any, from the 0-4 team to last year? Because last year, these guys had a lot of character guys on this team last year, and they came together much like the 0-4 team did.
100%. You guys like Ryan Dempster, guys like Johnny Gomes, guys like David Ross. In the home run fantasy department, you're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to draft these guys. In the locker room, A-listers.
Right.
Okay, those guys are what bring championships together. David Ortiz, Dustin Pedroia, all your role players, phenomenal, right? John Lackey, we get it. Lester, but you need that group to bring the lunches together, to allow guys to be together and to kind of get, the Jake Peavy's when he comes over. It's just that personality they had. Yeah. They brought out the John Lackeys. Then you bring out the guys, Mike Napoli's. Like he's got 9 words a month. He doesn't speak, yeah. Right? You're only allowed 9 words a month. But Nap's one of the greatest guys you've ever been around.
Yeah, and it was when that team broke spring training last year. This entire city was like, okay, after a horrible season the year before, they're like, this is what we're going out there with. This is what's going to happen. But what people didn't realize is exactly what you said. A bunch of those guys had been winners other places before. They just didn't have a chance to do it all together here.
You're exactly right, Steve. And that's the thing in this game I don't get. We get so consumed of the greatest player, biggest salary, greatest 6'4", look what he can do everything on 5 tools. This market right here that we're in, Boston, this is about makeup. So if I'm going to get players to play in this, I'm looking for makeup players. Guys that can get down and dirty when things get rough. And that's not always when things are going well. Like, I don't judge teammates when you're hitting 380. Like, boy, Steve Lyons is a great guy. But he comes in hitting $140 in his hand, he's pouting, he's miserable. A good teammate will know how to pat you on the butt when you're 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts, and you got the game-winning hit. And I can go over there and go, Steve, great game. That's a good teammate,
right?
Because it's tough. We're all stat rats.
When you're 3 for 4,
we're all stat rats. But we all read the papers. We know players act like I don't do. Yeah, you do.
Yep.
But makeup players in this city go a long way, other than the prima donna best player. Makes sense, Donnie?
It makes sense to me. Perfect sense.
That's a nice swing there.
Take it. B.J. Upton's got it on the warning track, and Nava is retired for the second out. Well, we're looking for fan videos, and certainly one of the great fan videos of all time was yours. It was up here at Fenway Park that entire season, but fans would like to do it at home on TV, 536. But that thing took on a life of its own. I mean, that was unbelievable.
I didn't realize how, I'm rolling ground balls. I look up Born in the USA. That was John Burkett got me. There's 1-0 him. Probably 100,000 to him now. But, yes, that was back in junior college. Didn't know the words of Born in the USA.
Clearly.
Obviously. Buddy's a private investigator. They get that video. Next thing you know, it's on the big screen. I'm rolling ground balls 30. Now, Terry Francona was the bench coach for the Oakland A's. He fell off the cooler. There you go.
In the right center field for Jackie Bradley Jr. has been swinging a good bat last couple of days and has a 2-out base hit here in the 4th.
Just a quick reminder for you, 1-5. There is 2 outs now, so just be careful about the length of the next story.
Great point. So let's go quick one answer. Somebody rapid fire, Don.
Rapid fire. Terry Francona.
Bad hair. Bad hair. Bad hair.
He has no hair.
Bad hair. Bad shower body. Terrible shower body. That's a fact. Next question. Steve Lyons, favorite player, favorite teammate you ever played with?
Bill Buckner.
Great. Don Arcillo, one player that you watched when you were growing up.
Dwight Evans, favorite.
Gotcha. Cheapest teammate you've ever had?
It would have been you, but you weren't my teammate.
No, I'm not. I'm paycheck to paycheck still. Why do you think I'm still working? I'm the only one that bought meals. Cheapest teammate would be Manny Ramirez, right?
Yeah, the guy has all the money.
Right?
Well, he forgets to cash his checks.
I guess.
Yes. What else? Some rapid fire questions. What kind of car do you drive?
Volvo.
Volvo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like
nice
Volvo.
piece. All right, you?
02 Mercedes.
You're a Mercedes guy. No,
I've
Steve.
had it for 12 years.
You pulled your pants down in front of everybody. It's the one video we like of you. You're driving a Mercedes?
I needed a better car.
Great point.
What else you got?
Get your leg up here. Stretch a little bit, Donnie. Get into it. Yes. Hamstring, Steve.
I might pull a fat. If
Trainer!
I get up there.
Yeah. How about a Taylor? My goodness gracious.
Oh.
Let's talk about Steve Socks. Have you seen Steve Socks?
Yeah, but this was kind of a bad choice today. I kind of ran out of
Seriously,
socks.
what are you, the Wicked Witch of the West?
Yes, nice socks and your suits from 2004. I appreciate you sponsoring that. Bring it back. You wore the same thing that year. I remember that.
No, I didn't. This is new. It's Joseph Abood.
Hey,
Joseph, did you hear that? I need 3 more suits.
Joseph Abood, I need 3 more.
Me too.
Short.
Hey, I'll tell you what. You're not the first person to tell him that's his 04 suit.
I know.
No,
I've heard
it
like
is.
5
pitch
times.
out. Look at that. We got you. If you just do a couple quick steps, they'll do that. Pitch out right there. You get that?
That's right.
That's why I got fired, by the way. I did Fox 2 games, out. I was terrible up in the booth. I'm terrible up
I
here.
saw you do the Wakefield knuckleball thing too. You were doing play-by-play for that though. You weren't doing
Yeah,
color.
but that's
You
tough.
just,
Yeah.
Don't feel like the
Making me
Lone
nervous.
Ranger. I did a few more than 2 games, but I got fired by them too.
It's hard up here, though.
Doesn't take long to get fired by them.
Well, I got a bad voice. I'm like a helium brother, right? And I got a bad laugh, so I'm more of a, like, I talk with my hands, but I was doing a game, like, and it was Rose and I. It was San Diego, like, Giants, and it was, like, brutal, like, 4 hits. And Rose is terrible. I'm terrible, and here we go. And it was like, you're done. I'm like, okay, that was cool TV.
Bad play-by-play guy, bad color guy, bad game. Wow. It couldn't have been that much fun.
It wasn't like Sox Yankees. It's like Latos versus Bob, the rookie for, whoever. Good story, though. We got 2 outs. What else you want to talk about? We got one more strike.
Your favorite teammate? Because you play with some great ones. Marlins here.
Yeah.
Favorite.
Ryan Dempster's tough because it's my favorite guy as far as he's like a brother. Gabe Kapler, another role player on our team. Remarkable human being. Great teammate, right? Mm-hmm. But our team, I will say it's the 2004 team. Hard to say one. Veritek and I hit more in his suite, because he's a captain, with a box of a pizza box in our underwear, worrying about. We did more research at 2:30 in the morning over pizza. I'm not kidding you, in his hotel room than we did in the cages. There he is, right there, Jason Veritek. Still sexy. Put on some weight though. Used to have a flat top, but that's what we did. It'd be Bellhorn, Veritek, Millard, whatever it is. And we did a lot of stuff like that. But that was what it was about, right?
It's unique to play on a team where there's no jerks on the team. There's usually there's always 1 or 2 guys that you're just like, I don't want to hang around.
Let's
that
go to the
guy.
exit sign.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you see him coming, you go the other way. You guys were pretty much doing everything together.
You can't buy that. That's the thing, right? I mean, the GM sit up here and Theo sit up there and all these numbers, and there's 714 guys over here that's got 1,100s on their SETs. It just worked. Yep. It worked.
Ball 3, full count. Toughest pitcher you ever faced in your career?
In his prime, Randy Johnson. 1, he's ugly. Let's get that out there. Not easy on the eyes. 2, it was 100 miles an hour with a nasty
matters
slider.
If he's not attractive?
Yes, I'm big
you got
on
to
it.
look at him.
I'm big on it. I mean, if you're like Bartolo Colon, facing him right now, it's miserable. That's not easy on the eyes, right? How about Aaron Harang, perfect example for the Braves, and he's probably listening to us.
Yeah,
he's not easy on the eyes. He started out 9-0.
Who does he look like?
Oof. Oh, boy. Come on. He's going bad fast.
I can't say. I know who he looks like.
I know, because you were talking about it last night.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Aaron, we apologize. You're a great friend.
He is a great guy, too.
Yeah, but just not easy on the eyes.
Yeah,
that's all. And it's not a bad thing. You're just
it's like you said, the tough part about that is you're at the plate, you're staring at the guy the whole time, and already you're distracted.
Do you remember Randy used to have this thing right here? He's like out there, he's rolling it, and he's looking at him like, what are you doing? First of all, you're scaring me, and then it was 100 by you.
The sweet mullet gone.
This is on the ground to shortstop. A bobble stays with it. Pena will get him, and that will end our conversation with that.
Boys,
thanks for getting him out of here before I got fired again.
show us how to do the Wally Waves. I'm thinking this is something he can handle. As Wally Wave back here at Fenway Park, it's gone again here, and the Red Sox were gone the last week, but they're back, and so is the Wally Wave.
I got to learn that.
You haven't learned it yet?
I mean, it looks like there's only like two real steps, but you know. Yeah. But it's the wave part where you got to have a little. You got a little rhythm. You need. Why are you moving so far away from me?
I want to give you some room so you can show everybody what you just did.
You got to have a little rhythm to do it. This whole thing. I mean, that's not a big deal.
That's all there is. There's two moves.
When I saw it the first time, I was thinking I'm not going to like this. It's going to be dumb. But I think it's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
I like it. I like
the
Wally Wave.
There you go. You can do it all the time.
I got to learn how to do it. You know.
Yeah. You
keep moving away.
I'm just trying to give you enough space.
Yeah,
I don't want to get in your space.
It's never stopped you before.
Chris Johnson leading it off here for the Braves in the 5th inning.
The Wally Wave.
Johnson with Stella and Pena to bat here in the inning. Meanwhile, John Lackey been outstanding here so far, and with a 2-0 advantage, jumps ahead 1-2.
I need a nap after Millar.
Yeah, he can wear you out.
Whoa, look out.
Zipped inside. Lackey coming in with a record of 5-3, and he has been pretty consistent on the year for the Red Sox overall. 3.58 earned run average. To the end of the Braves dugout, still 2-2.
Oops. Misplayed by the ball girl down there. You got to come out and get in front of that one before it hits the wall.
I think it's a little cold down there tonight, though.
Yeah, it makes it tougher.
Chris Johnson struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Little bloop back at first. Nava on the run's not going to get there, but it lands foul and out of harm's way. Eastern Bank knows small business keeps our economy and community strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here, you're first. A good breeze here at Fenway Park on a cool night. Supposed to be down to around 46 degrees right now, 47 degrees at Fenway Park. And yes, we're almost to June. 2-2 pitch. On the ground, foul. Still 2-2. Happy youngster right there catching it.
There's not a bigger smile on a kid's face ever than after he gets a foul ball at a ball game.
He's got it right now.
And it's going to take a long time to wipe that thing off his face, too. It's staying a while.
Swing and a miss. Gets away from Pierzynski briefly. He'll fire down to first base for the out. That's 7 Ks now for John Lackey. 1 down.
Once again, very effective with the breaking ball. He's throwing hard stuff, and then, whoop, look at that. 84 miles an hour right there. Just a big overhand curveball. He even took something off of that. Bounces it on the plate, but you're geared up for the old #1, and there's no way you can lay off of it.
1 down now for Tommy La Stella. 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded out to second base in the 3rd inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. over towards right center field. Into center field, a base hit now for Tommy La Stella. 1 out single as we send it down to Gary Streisky.
Hey guys, hanging out here in the right field roof box with a 45-year educator, Joel Lubin, who's actually about to call it a career after nearly half a century, and you're here thanks to your class. Take us through the special occasion.
That's right. A wonderful group of girls who I've taught for 3 years in a row, and as a celebration of my retiring and their graduating, we're all at a Red Sox game together.
And you see them here all along this row here, the top 3 rows. So the pretty cool thing is they wanted to take you to a game last year, a World Series game at that, either Game 1 or Game 7. And you being a math teacher, playing the odds and playing the probabilities, you chose Game 7, and we all know what happened.
Well, they encouraged me. They said, carpe diem, go for Game 7.
So you saw
it work out, but we had fun together.
So you saw Game 6 from the comfy confines of your home, but a nice, I guess, consolation is that you saw the 2004 team being presented tonight, and that was a pretty cool moment for you.
That was wonderful. I also will tell you that 3 of my students did go to Game 6, and each one of them brought me back a souvenir, including this hat.
Everybody decked out in the Red Sox gear. Good to see you. Enjoy retirement. I'm sure in that retirement we'll be seeing you here at Fenway quite often.
Many a time. I've been a Sox fan for 58 years.
Mr. Lumen, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations to him, and nice story here. Too bad didn't get to go to Game 7, but it worked out better.
Yeah.
Worked out all right.
Certainly a teacher that his students like. You know, if they don't like you, they don't bring you back hats.
No, and they don't bring you to Fenway Park either. You know.
But I'd like to be in his final graduating class because I figure he's retiring and I'm graduating. He's not holding me back. He's done anyway.
Was there that chance?
Mr.
One time? This is my time.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that I got your reference.
I know, but he, Spicoli ended up liking Mr. Hands, so it worked out for all of them. No, I never had opportunities like that where I was on the fence about the possibility of passing any classes. I knew one way or another whether I was going to or not.
Hayward lines this into right field for a base hit. And LaStella will stop at second base. Throw goes to second, and it is first and second now with 2 down here for Atlanta. First time they put together 2 hits in an inning off John Lackey on the night.
Yeah, and because of where you are in the lineup here, that's just Hayward going right down there, digging that front shoulder down and then whipping the bat through the zone and just hammering this ball into right field. Those are the kind of balls where if you maybe get a little lift on it and some backspin, those are the kind of balls that sail out of a ballpark. That's just a good hard single right there. You start getting into the middle of this order here is where you can do some damage with guys on base. So Lackey's got to take care of it right now.
2 on, 2 down. B.J. Upton, the batter. And a swing and a miss. And slider that time from Lackey. He's had a good one tonight, 0-1.
Yes, he did swing at that, too.
Yes, he did. Bill Welke agrees with you, 0-2.
You know, it's tough on Freddie Gonzalez as you see him take that hack right there, because number 2 hitter, you put that guy in the lineup there generally to get a few more fastballs because of the guys behind you that are coming up. But Upton's having a tough time with fastballs.
Strikes out here as Lackey gets out of the jam, and the Braves strand a pair halfway through this one. 2-0 Boston.
Asks, which acquisition had the greatest impact in 2004? Was it Sox 1, Orlando Cabrera, Sox 2 for Keith Foulke, Sox 3 for Dave Roberts, or Sox 4 for Curt Schilling? Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates, those may apply. Text help if you need it. Visit Nesson terms for all the legal stuff, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Gary, as we play along here to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll keep an eye on this tonight as Gavin Floyd returns to the mound. He's given up 2 runs in the game. Running the 2nd, running in the 3rd. Xander Bogaerts leading it off here in the bottom of the 5th. Bogart's been on twice, a walk and a double in tonight's game. Bogaerts, Pedroia, and Ortiz expected here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Curt Schilling jumping out of the gate quite quickly. And great to see Curt here at the ballpark tonight as part of the pregame ceremony.
I tell you what, he has been through so much. And you just continue to hope for the best. And, you know, when you're separated from that and you're not close to the situation, you're not really sure what to say. But he looked strong. He looked like he was, you know, he came out from the wall there. It looked good.
Wide turn at first for Bogaerts. He's going to hold on with a single as it glanced off the glove of Chris Johnson at third base, and it'll be another base hit here.
I believe this is one of the very first public appearances he's made, and I mean, knowing what he's been through, he looks pretty darn good.
A guy who's battled a lot through the years in the major leagues, having to battle his own health issues, battling cancer more recently, and great to see Curt Schilling here tonight. Bogaerts at first. Pedroia swings away and fouls it back for strike one.
It is amazing how many high fastballs Petey gets to swing at. He loves it up there. A lot of times he fouls it straight back like that, but other times he can get on top of that pitch and hit it a long way. Power numbers have been down this year. I think that wrist from earlier in the season is probably starting to just get better, but you know that's the type of thing that's going to bother you most of the year because he's not going to give it a chance to heal. One of the best high ball hitters in the game.
That one kind of buckled him, but called the ball, and it's 1-1 as Gavin Floyd going to the breaking ball.
Good breaking ball. You don't see Pedroia jelly-legged very often.
0 for 2 in the game tonight. He's flying to right and struck out swinging. Second time in 5 innings. The Red Sox have had the lead runner on tonight. First time they scored, that was back in the 2nd inning. Gomes reached on the infield hit. Action for the first time for Atlanta tonight as left-hander Alex Wood up. We've seen Wood in the series. A lot of the Braves bullpen in game 1. Yet to see the 9th inning man in Kimbrel yet, and that's a good thing for the Red Sox.
See him.
It's not a guy you want to see. I've seen a lot of Koji Uehara, though, saving the first 2 games of the series, the Boston closer. And wonder about his availability a little bit. 2-1 pitch, crank foul on the ground. 2-2.
There, she made the play.
Nice comeback.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a different ballgame.
Oh,
that's why.
I don't know if that's the reason, but look at this. Get your glove down. It's got that offhand right there ready to make sure the ball stays in the glove. 2 hands.
Pedroia to second base, trying to turn it into 2, and they do not. Back in time is Bogaerts. Pedroia lines out. Estella Tried to nab Bogaerts at first. Can't. One down. And one down, a runner at first base. Let's take a look at the pitching line for Gavin Floyd, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 4 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Ortiz takes one up and in at 93 miles an hour.
Go ahead.
Wake up call.
Exactly. Go ahead and wake him up. Make him a little upset. How many times have Red Sox fans see him take a pitch like that and then at some point in the at-bat hit one about 9 miles?
It takes a strike here, 1-1. Tonight's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. David Ortiz against Gavin Floyd. 9 for 26 at 346, 3 home runs. And tonight has been on base twice, a walk and a single so far. Don Orsillo, Steve Lyons, Gary Streitsky with you tonight from Fenway for this Red Sox and Braves game. They continue the series. This is technically game 3 of a 4-game series in 2 different venues. And tonight, Red Sox get a run in the second, run in the third, and lead it 2-0 as they bat here in the bottom of the 5th. And a breaking ball, 3-1.
You see the shift that's employed here by the Braves, not as exaggerated because you still need to make an out at one of the bases. If you're the second baseman, you can't be playing way out there because you'd like to be able to take that out at second base. You can't play as deep. You're kind of a double play depth shift.
Ortiz gets under this, sends it to right center. B.J. Upton is there to make the catch with his second out. Bogaerts back to the bag at first, 2 down. Upton was kind of fooled by the swing initially, running sideways before cutting in to make the catch. The swing of Ortiz will fool the occasional outfielder.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're using a darker bat at nighttime, those are harder to see as an outfielder. You don't see the bat as much. My dad used to tell me all the time, you got to be breaking at the crack of the bat, and Upton didn't really see that one very well, and you can get fooled by the swing.
Back to the mound, nicely picked by Floyd to the base of the hill, and he throws out A.J. Pierzynski to end the inning. We played 5 from Fenway. It's 2-0 Red Sox. Medical Center invites you to join the club. The Walking Club gives free tools and tips to get you and your family walking towards better health. For more, visit bidmc.org/walking. Now it's 2-0. Red Sox have the lead. John Lackey back on the hill. One around did Freddie Freeman, leading it off here in the 6th inning.
Can you believe, with the Red Sox leading right now, nice to see them pull out another victory against a team who was leading the National League East when they strolled into town with the best pitching staff in the National League. They've played much better baseball over the last few days. They win today, it'll be their first 3-game winning streak of the year. It's unbelievable.
Lackey has been terrific so far and has struck out 8 through the first 5 innings. Been out of a bit of a jam last inning, giving up 2 hits in the inning. And he takes care of Freddie Freeman. Rising fastball. Freeman chases. 9 Ks now for John Lackey.
That's the bread and butter, and he's got it working tonight. I watched him just blow Freeman away. Up in the zone, 4-seamer. Keep that thing riding true. He doesn't really want to see extra movement on that. What he wants is the extra velocity.
Pitching line for John Lackey, brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 1/3, 5 hits, no runs, hasn't walked anybody, and now 9 punch outs. Pitch 80 coming up here to Justin Upton, who has struck out twice already against Lackey tonight.
Justin different than his brother because Justin Upton has not been known as a guy who cannot catch up with a fastball. He can, and he hits him a long way when he does.
And it's this one a long way to deep left center field. A high drive that is off the top of the wall. Bradley Jr. will play the carom into second base. Goes Upton with a 1-out double. And that nearly got out of here to left center field.
Well, kind of what we were talking about right there. We've seen Lackey up around 94 with his fastball. This one is about where he lives, 92. But as we said, this Upton can get to it. Look at that. That bat's full extension. I think Justin was thinking that maybe he had enough of that one to get it out of the ballpark. Top of the wall.
So 1 down. Upton at second base, and Evan Gattis, the batter, 1 for 2 in the game tonight. Singled his last time up to left field off John Lackey.
When you see a guy with a picture-perfect swing like that, even though it's the opposing player, that's a pretty thing to watch, isn't it? Balance was perfect.
You know, it's funny. We've talked about interleague a little bit, but it's one of the things I like about interleague is the fact you get to see some of the game's best players you don't ordinarily get to see in your own league.
Yeah, I think it's still viable. Some of the players don't like it as much. I think the way they've changed it up now, there's an interleague game every day going on somewhere. It's not as hyped as it used to be, but you still get to see the teams.
So you like it then? Because there are a lot of people who don't, it seems like.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people think it has run its course, but like you said, I mean, right now we're seeing a guy like Evan Gattis. You know, you get to put a face and a body and a player with the story that you've heard about Evan Gattis. You know, and I think it's still an outstanding chance for fans to see certain players that they wouldn't ordinarily have the opportunity to see.
Selfishly, I like going to all the different ballparks over the years.
Yeah,
I have the chance to work in San Francisco and see that ballpark where the Giants play. And this year we're going to Cincinnati. I mean, you get to go all over. Already went to Turner Field this year. First time in 5 years.
I don't know that Cincinnati would be high on my list to have to go back to.
You just
want to try the press dining there. See if they have good ice cream.
Houston, which is now in the American League, I'm excited about because they have very good press dining.
Yeah. Yeah.
3-1.
Well, I don't know for the people.
After watching your act, I can't let this go.
Yeah.
You can build an ice cream with the best of them.
I can eat.
I have never seen anything like it. I mean, there was like 3 different levels of this ice cream that you put together in back-to-back days in Atlanta. On the ground to third base. Holt backs up, gets himself set, and fires across for the second out of the inning. You had some level of stuff on the bottom. Ice cream, more stuff in the middle. Ice cream, more stuff, and then stuff at the top. I mean, this thing was a tower of power.
Well, he crushed up Butterfinger at the bottom of the bowl. Okay. Then some ice cream.
Yeah.
Then it was Reese's Pieces piled on top, and then caramel. Oh yeah.
And this is a regular occurrence.
I go back for seconds.
This was not your first rodeo. So
no.
I mean, I'm surprised, Tim. You're in good shape. Yeah,
really. It's the Joseph Abboud suits that make me look like I have a waistline. You know, if you button it up tight enough, you almost look like you have a waistline.
That's why I'm wearing a vest, brother.
Yeah. the sausage casing.
One out here, 2 outs here in the inning, and the count of 1-0. Tillman will take it down low. Sausage casing.
Someone forgot to tell me that when you go through the ice cream line, all those toppings that they have, you're supposed to choose one.
Right.
I
all
take
of them.
A little bit of everything.
It's not a buffet.
Says who? Your mother's not there telling you that you can't have more.
Tillman will take the strike, and it's 2-1. Hockey with 9 Ks in the game, and this year has gone up over 10 once, 11 strikeouts. And against the Yankees back on the 23rd of April. Flared foul, 2-2. Foxwoods Resort Casino is the official resort casino and proud partner of the Boston Red Sox.
You know what I like about what Lackey has been able to do in this game too is that he's been economical. 67 or 90 pitches so far right here in this ball game, which isn't all that much for him. Getting into the 6th, you know, he should easily be able to get over the 100 pitch mark into maybe another inning and a half. Get out of this one here.
Just missed. Lackey wanted it. Did appear to be off the plate. Full count.
There haven't been a lot of pitches that he's thrown tonight that he's taken any issue with. That one was probably off the plate. And come back and get him here.
To center field, playable for Jackie Bradley Jr. as he makes his way in and puts it away to end the top of the 6th inning. We're 5.5 deep with the Red Sox on top 2-0. Johnny Gomes will lead it off. We got one from Craig M, and this is a pretty good-looking man cave he's got going on here. A lot of Red Sox stuff, and we've been getting a lot of stuff from fans the last couple of days of some great Red Sox rooms, and get the Red Sox seats from Fenway Park mixed in there as well. You got the hats. This guy's got it covered.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
That's an amazing job. Maybe if he just turned his cell phone a little sideways, we'd have got a better shot of it.
That's a good call. Good call. Yeah, for those of you sending in the video, and we hope you do, try to go sideways to get the better shot. I learned that in Don's view early on in the season.
Yes, you did. And, you know, I think, was that Craig, did we say?
I think it was Craig M.
Craig,
yeah.
I think Craig's wife helped him with the design down there because that was expertly done.
Top notch.
Yeah. It wasn't just thrown up on the wall. That was, everything had its place.
It's called the bullpen, brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. Alex Wood's 14th appearance of the year, 4-5 and 3.23 earned run average. 53 innings, 55 strikeouts, 12 walks. Opponents hitting at 271 against Wood as he comes on here in the 6th inning. The starter tonight, Gavin Floyd, threw 106 pitches through the first 5 innings. And it's to the bullpen again for Freddie Gonzalez, as Johnny Gomes leads it off here in the 6th inning. Singled and scored in the 2nd, flied out to center in the 3rd.
Now, we always talk about kind of a knockout inning where you put a big crooked number on the board that makes the difference in the game. And you can sail along like the Red Sox have done in this one and put up a run in the 2nd and a run in the 3rd. But it's always like in yesterday's ball game, a 4-run 7th. That's the inning that wins the ball game for you. And those are tough to come back from if you're the opposing team. And the Red Sox still need one of those in this ball game to kind of put it out of reach.
I was thinking about Koji Uehara and trying to figure how many times he went 3 days in a row. I mean, that, you know, especially with the time that he's had off this year, you wonder if he is available for this game or not tonight. Should it still be 2-0 and get down to that time?
Tazawa as well. You know, when you look at your setup guy and your closer, they've both been in a lot of games. We talked about it in last night's ball game. That's what the Red Sox tried to do, very similar to what the Braves tried to do, is you shorten the game down to 7 innings. You have a lead in the 7th, then you bring your 8th inning guy in to shut things down, and then you bring Koji in, and you know, if you're the guy that hits, you can already hear the announcer saying, "Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming," because that game's over. You know, and that's the kind of shut down back of the rotation that the Braves have. The Red Sox have done a great job of not letting them have the lead at the end of the game.
The last thing Freddie Gonzalez wanted to see was his reliever come in and walk the first batter that he faces, and that's what he did to Johnny Gomes. Some Braves fans taking advantage of Fenway Park and getting some photos here at Fenway. Grady Sizemore has walked and grounded out to second base. There is strike 1. Good long look down to Brian Butterfield in the third base coach's box. See if the Red Sox try to get something going here. You're working towards the bottom of the lineup, but trying to manufacture some runs here to add to their 2-0 advantage.
Wood is like an erector set coming at you. A bunch of knees and elbows. Really tough to pick up his delivery point. Nice 3-shot of everybody out there.
Trips. We call it trips.
Trips.
Yep.
I like that.
Gomes back to the bag. 1-1 here to Grady Sizemore.
We mentioned that Sizemore has picked things up lately, really starting to sting the ball a little bit better, having some balls drop in. The average starting to creep up a little bit. And he's had to face some tough lefties like this guy Wood. It's not easy.
On the ground and threw into right field, a base hit. Johnny Gomes will stop at second. You got Hayward coming in, who's got a terrific arm. He didn't want to test him in right field, and 2 on, nobody out here in the 6th inning.
It was probably a smart decision by Johnny Gomes, but I thought that he might have been able to make it. This ball doesn't get through the infield all that quickly. Gomes gets a good jump. You see it right at you coming into your living room. Hayward does have the good arm, but look at how that thing just got eaten up. Gomes is going to come around second. You think he's going to go, and he said, "No, I'm going to put on the brakes right now." no real harm there because you're talking about nobody out. You don't want to make that out at third base, and the Red Sox are trying to do exactly what we talked about. Throw a big crooked number up there and cruise into the rest of this game.
Pinch hitter here for the Red Sox, Ryan Lavarnway, is going to pinch hit for Nava, recalled from Pawtucket. His first major league stint of this season. 0-1 in the series against Atlanta. As he pinch hit on Monday, first game of the series, and here he is with 2 on, pinch hitting for Daniel Nava. Lavarnway takes ball 1.
Lavarnway is probably just happy that he's got his own cleats on. He's got a uniform with his name in it. He's probably got his own bats. Yeah. None of his equipment made it to him.
That's got to be very unsettling. You get back to the big leagues, you don't have your own stuff, really?
Yeah. I have better stuff playing in AAA.
His bag did not make the trip to Atlanta from Pawtucket, as it turned out, and now he's got his stuff back.
He went over to Carp because he's been playing mostly first base. I asked him about that. We talked a little bit about this the other night. He still wakes up every day and sees himself as a catcher, but he hasn't been catching as much, and he says the only reason he's in the big leagues right now is because they taught him to play first base. There's Mike Carp. Carp let him borrow one of his gloves, but it was fresh out of the bag. It wasn't broken in. It was brand new. There wasn't even any spit on the thing. And had he had to go in there and play first base, I would have assumed maybe Carp would have given him his gamer to go out there and play, because what he was using in batting practice, that wasn't ready. It wasn't game ready.
We should mention Carp sore from being hit in the foot in last night's game and was headed for x-rays before the game today, and was right before game time. So we'll wait and see what happened with that, and was really hurting today more than it did last night, as it turns out. He's out to left center field. B.J. Upton now coming from left is Justin Upton, stepping in front of B.J. and calling him off to make the catch for the first out here of the 6th inning.
Well, not that I want to see Mike Carp be hurt. And this was a pretty good pitch right here, getting Lavarnway out on his front foot, losing his balance a little bit, makes it tougher to drive the ball. But I know on Twitter last night when I said that he got hit by that pitch, and that's got to hurt a little bit, some guy on Twitter called me a moron because he got hit by a 78-mile-an-hour curveball. How bad could it really hurt? Well, bad enough to go get some x-rays, I guess.
2 on, 1 away. Jackie Bradley Jr. will take strike 1. He has struck out and singled so far from the number 9 spot. Made good contact in the 4th inning.
I think many people have been in a situation where they'll get hit somehow. Maybe they're playing some sort of athletics and it hurts, and you're running around and you're like, dang, that hurts. You sleep on it, you wake up the next day, oh, different story. It's killing you now.
Apparently that was the case today when he arrived at the ballpark.
Jackie Bradley again in another situation where he can come through big time for this team, and he's been put in those situations a little more often lately, and he's done a good job facing another tough lefty.
Down the left field line, and this is going to be a one-hopper to the wall. From second base comes Johnny Gomes. Throw going towards third base. Red Sox pick up a run. Second hit of the night is Jackie Bradley's double that gives the Red Sox a 3-0 advantage.
I love his swing when he's thinking the opposite field. He lets that ball travel through the strike zone, almost past him, before he decides to shoot it into left field. That's a beautiful swing. He's got enough juice on it to get it up over the left fielder's head, and here we go off to the races. All right, that's nice.
So second and third with 1 out, a run in here for the Red Sox and a chance to do some more damage. Brock Holt, who's had a quiet night from the top spot in the Red Sox order, 0 for 3.
Brock Holt had a little bit of a rough one yesterday too. Hit the ball a number of times, was unable to get a hit.
In the dirt, blocked nicely by Gaddis, able to keep it up the third base line. Let's take a look at our Chevy key player to watch. And Brock Holt coming in with the 8-game hitting streak, which is on the line tonight. And Holt during the 8-game, 12 for 34, 353. And again, 0 for 3 so far in tonight's game.
It's important for him to think the middle of the field. If he can elevate a pitch, that's fine, but don't get too pull happy to shoo him back up the middle.
Call to strike, borderline call, 2-1.
With the infield playing in, Jackie Bradley Jr. can get an enormous lead. You can see him there. He can go as far as the shortstop, Pena, and then he can get an even bigger secondary lead. Be very difficult to throw him out at the plate on any ball that gets to the outfield.
Stays in the infield. They're coming home as LaStella throws to the plate, and out at the plate is Grady Sizemore. So bringing the infield in there works for the Braves as Jackie Bradley Jr. takes third base. And Holt reaches at first, but Gonzalez brings it in, and they get the runner at the plate.
Unless Sizemore was going on his own, and I doubt that's the case, the Red Sox were using what they call the contact play, which you're told, if you're the runner on third base, wherever and whenever the ball is hit, you're going. I think that John Farrell's trying to be more aggressive. It's been a long time since he's had leads in games. He wants to play an aggressive style, so that's what they tried right there.
First and third, 2 down now in the inning, and Xander Bogaerts takes strike 1. You agree with it? You like it?
I don't personally like the contact play that often, because if the guy does make the play, you're pretty much running into an out. You know, the infield's already in. I like the ball, make the ball be through. Once it gets through, you walk home. But it does put an extra edge of aggressiveness in your game plan. Hey, he's going right away. As soon as it's hit, go. But if the guy fields the ball, more times than not, they're going to throw you out. You're just trying to put pressure on the other team.
Well, Alex Wood, who has given up a run in the inning, ahead of Xander Bogaerts 0-2. Now spins him out of the box here with the fastball running in.
I think that's been a while since Red Sox fans have actually gotten to see the way John Farrell likes to manage. He is a more aggressive guy, and I love that style. When you're losing 10 games in a row and you didn't have too many leads, you know, you get to sit on your hands a lot.
Again, the Red Sox were swept on the homestand last time they were here, so fans here at Fenway have not seen that in quite some time.
Yeah.
Went on the road and got swept in Tampa Bay before winning the first 2 of this series against Atlanta. Now on top tonight, 3-0. A streak in the right direction right now for Boston. Time called, and Evan Gattis going to head to the mound. Well, tune in tonight after Red Sox coverage for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Adam and Sarah will bring you to Foxborough, where Gronk talked about his offseason. Matt Chatham will be in studio to break down the Pats' moves, plus a complete recap of the 2004 celebration here at Fenway Park.
I believe you and I will be making an appearance on NST.
I believe we will, somewhere in the mix.
Indeed.
Although we're not one of the headliners. Not part of that.
Maybe on the next promo we will be.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Bogaerts. Swing and a miss, and Wood strikes him out. Red Sox collect another run. Take a 3-0 lead. The 7th inning from Fenway. 47 degrees right now at Fenway with a good breeze coming in, and a 3-0 Red Sox lead. As John Lackey returns to the mound, 93 pitches deep into his outing, works into the 7th with Chris Johnson leading it off for Atlanta. Ryan LaVarnway stays in the game and takes over at first base after he pinch hit for first baseman Daniel Nava. So LaVarnway down there at first, and one of the reasons he is here, playing first base for the Pawtucket Red Sox and now playing first base for Boston.
And he's not wearing Mike Carp's brand new glove. He's got his own.
He's got his own stuff.
Makes him feel a lot better about things. You like a guy that's appreciative of a move that an organization kind of forces you to make, almost not against your will, but, you know, he wants to be a catcher. But he understands.
Going to get tested here. Blocked it down with his body nicely and flips to first with Lackey covering.
You know what that was like? That was basically like a pitcher throwing him about a 55-footer.
It had that look to it, didn't it, the way he blocked it.
In the dirt, just knock it down. He knows that he can pick it up in time. Wow, this is going to be a great view. Blocked that like a catcher. Wasn't really trying to catch it, just get in front of it, knock it down. Nice flip to first and make the play. That's a nice job.
Minus the chest protector, though.
Yeah.
You know, you just got your own stuff.
Yeah, but look at him. I mean, he's a guy with a mustache right now. He's tough. Should have a cowboy hat on out there or something. That is quality stash.
He asked me if I liked it. I said, yeah. What's not to like? It's great.
That is not
awesome.
true.
The 0-1 pitch misses, and it's 1-1.
You know, even at 5 in the morning when he got home, someone called him and said you were killing him about his mustache.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he was all over me about it. It's like, so you noticed? I said, yeah, it's hard not to.
So you noticed.
Tommy La Stella called up today. 1 for 2.
Marley, he may get challenged again down here with Tommy up here. Pole hitter. There he goes, trying to go down there. Just to finish the story there about LaVarnway, he wants to be a catcher. He thinks of himself as a catcher, but he understands that without making that move to first base, he's not in the big leagues right now. So I think he's really appreciative that someone said, "Hey, look, we like you as a player, but if you're more versatile, you got a better chance to get here." And here he is.
It makes me think of Nava. This one's fouled off. Nava last year went to spring training, tried to make the roster, and they said, "Hey, bring your first base mitt because we're going to try to make you first baseman possibly." Yep. He was all about it. That's how he got on the team, really, because he could play first base and outfield. Was on to hit 300, spend the year in the big leagues, and win a World Series.
Yeah, and I think it's a great example for little leaguers, kids.
Well, Stella's got his second hit of the night, a base hit to center field. Time for a Toyota game break. Here's Tom Caron, TC. All right, TC, thanks very much. It has been incredible.
14 homers. Good.
Wow. But has not hit one tonight. 1 out, run, 1 on as Ramiro Pena stands in. And that's going to miss for ball 1. Don Orsillo, Steve Lyons, and Gary Streisky from Fenway Park tonight. Red Sox back home again as they begin this homestand. They're here for a relatively quick amount of time. 5 games before heading back out on the road and have a 3-0 lead tonight. Finale of this 4-game series between the two cities tomorrow night. Jake Peavy matched up against Mike Minor.
Well, maybe to finish that thought on versatility and with the Nesson Clubhouse Kids Show in mind, you talk to kids all the time about where's their favorite position to play.
In the center field, Pena's got a base hit. Taking second is La Stella. And their answer is?
Well, I'm happy when kids have a favorite position. I'm a shortstop. That's where I want to play. That's always where I want to play. Well, there's a former shortstop right there in Tim Wakefield. And he wasn't going to make it to the big leagues as a shortstop. And he decided to pick up the knuckleball. And he had a brilliant career. Red Sox fans love him. He loved his tenacity on the mound. An analyst now for Nesson as well. Here comes John Farrell.
He's going to make the change on Lackey. Chris Capuano's been warming in the Boston pen. Looks like he is coming in here for the Red Sox, and Lackey is up over 100 pitches tonight as he departs with a 3-0 lead. You'll hear it from the Fenway faithful as he leaves. Distributes the largest selection of industrial pipe, valves, and fittings for facilities throughout the Northeast. Wow, bet you didn't know that. FW Web. For more on this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor, visit fwweb.com. And John Lackey's outing goes 6 1/3, 8 hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 9, and departs responsible for the 2 men on here with 1 out.
Wow, that's just a nice performance by John Lackey, and it was pedestrian, you know. It just went out and did what he does. He was comfortable with his breaking ball. He threw his fastball where he wanted it. He had good velocity on it. He was pretty much pinpoint control. Just a nice outing. Go out and do your job.
And Chris Capuano into the game, his 23rd appearance in a Red Sox uniform, 1-1 with a 2.00 earned run average, 25 strikeouts, 10 walks, and opponents sitting at 202 against Capuano. Through a scoreless 5th inning with a strikeout on Monday, Memorial Day at Atlanta. Opponents only 3 for their last 26 against him. And he gets strike 1 in there to Jason Hayward.
Hayward's a guy that you got to be careful with. Obviously, he's got massive power. Capuano went through a little bit of a hiccup after a really great start to this season, and I think he's kind of settled back into his own again.
Broken bat, look out. Capuano didn't see it. Pedroia throws to first. They get the out there. I'm not sure if it made contact with him or not, but he ducked out of the way. Late reaction by Capuano. Barrel of the bat coming at him.
Well, as a pitcher, you're not trained to see the bat coming at you. You're trying to react to the baseball wherever it goes, and you see him looking a little bit left to see the ball, and then out of the corner of his eye, he picks up the bat. You're really picking up the bat after it's too late. He was lucky that missed him because he reacted after the bat was by him. If it was going to hit him, it would have. Dangerous.
So he gets the out at first. Jason Hayward retired. 2nd and 3rd now for Atlanta. And B.J. Upton 0 for 3 in the game tonight. He struck out twice, grounded out to second base.
All right, so we've talked all night about Upton and his inability to catch up with a good fastball. Capuano doesn't have a good fastball or an overpowering fastball. He'll try to cut his fastball in on the hands of Upton if he's going to use it. Otherwise, he'll go down and away with breaking stuff.
Lackey looking on, responsible for the runners at second and third. Wondering about the availability of Shinichi Tazawa. He's up. So far, the availability appears to be just fine. Two down here in the seventh inning. Capuano trying to get out of this jam, but behind 2-0. Trying to frame it was Brzezinski to bring it back, but it is outside. 3-0. First base is open. Freddie Freeman on deck.
Yep, I think Capuano's going to be careful and go after the lefty Freeman. Freeman doesn't mind hitting lefties. That ball's off the plate. Once you get behind an account, you're definitely going to put yourself in a position to make Upton hit your pitch. He's not going to throw him a cookie right here, right down the middle.
Ball 4 and down to first base he'll go. 2-out walk for B.J. Upton. First time he's been on. Well, don't miss WB Extra Innings tonight right after the game. Tom Caron and Dennis Eckersley will break down John Lackey's outing. John Farrell's post-game thoughts will get you a recap of the 2004 World Series celebration. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. 2 outs here in the seventh inning. Bases loaded now for Atlanta. Freddie Freeman 1 for 3 in the game. Double back in the first inning. Strike. Nice, and Freeman doesn't like it.
Yeah. That's Capuano in a nutshell right there. Zip right to the other side of the plate, knee high. If you're a pitcher like Capuano, a finesse guy, you have to have that call. And once you show umpires that you can consistently go there, you're going to get it.
Not had any success against Capuano in his career.
That's why I thought it was really interesting when Pedro was here. And he said sometimes, you know, just because there's 9 guys in the lineup doesn't mean I have to pitch to all of them. I'm looking at the next guy. Maybe I don't want to pitch to you. I'm going to throw 4 balls. I'm going to throw 4 pitches of the ones that I want to throw. If you swing at them, fine. If you don't, fine, because I want the next guy. I think Capuano was in this situation right here. He didn't want Upton after he fell behind him. Another good look at Pedro. Ooh.
Inside 2-1. Tense times for Lackey in the Red Sox dugout. He looks on.
Freeman with 9 homers on the year could change the complexion of this game with 1 swing of the bat. I think Capuano will generally try to stay away from him.
In the dirt, Brzezinski blocks that. It's 3-1, and Freddie Freeman in a pretty good spot here. Bases loaded, no place to put him, and the hitter's count of 3-1.
And with Justin Upton following.
Freeman fouls it off. That was a big pitch, and it's a full count now. Everybody will be on the move.
Pretty good example right there of even in the major leagues, when you get a pitch to hit that you really like, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to square it up. Capuano challenged Freeman right there as good as you can challenge a guy. Came out on top on that pitch. He needs to do it one more time.
Freeman will send it to second, picked on the backhand by Pedroia, and Capuano gets out of the jam. The Braves leave them loaded. It's seventh inning stretch from Fenway. Red Sox still on top 3-0. For the Xfinity game summary. Well, Floyd, the starter tonight for the Braves, ends up giving up 3 runs to the Red Sox. Actually, 2 runs to the Red Sox. The third run was charged Alex Wood, as Freddie Freeman really representing the Braves offense, which has been calmed tonight by the Red Sox. So while John Lackey 6 1/3, and Lackey in this game departed, Chris Capuano came in, got the final 2 outs of the 7th inning, get out of a jam as the Braves leave the bases loaded in the 7th. And now Pedroia goes to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Alex Wood back out there again for Atlanta. Pedroia, Ortiz, and Pierzynski to bat in the inning. This is through the left side. Into left field, a base hit for Dustin Pedroia. First time he's been on tonight.
He had trouble sneaking one through after a 3-hit day yesterday. He hit the ball hard a couple times, and now finally it's a bullet through the left side of that infield. On a fastball that's elevated.
So lead runner on here for the Red Sox in the 7th inning. And it brings up Big Papi. David has walked, singled in the infield, and flied out to center. They're into the shift on him, but they keep it tight to the infield here on the right side. Now David Ortiz is like Scarface, favorite movie. Anything seafood will work. 2 Chainz, his favorite artist. And likes to watch TV or movies, non-baseball activity. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. Outfield very deep and pretty much straight away, even though they have the exaggerated shift in the infield. The outfield straight up. David didn't like it, thought it was a little low.
David's been in enough pressure situations where having his buddies from the 04 team isn't putting a whole lot of extra pressure on him, but he hasn't done much in this game. He got the single there, but he'd love to hit a bullet somewhere to impress the old guys.
Wow, that one appeared to be off the plate, and David didn't like strike 1. He really doesn't like strike 2 either. Look back at James Hoy, who has the plate tonight. Outside, full count. On deck is A.J. Brzezinski. Nobody out. Pedroia at first base. No time call. Wood backs off. Ortiz chops it to first base. Backing up is Freddie Freeman. He'll tag the bag as Pedroia reaches second base. Well, this Sunday, catch an all-new episode of Nesson Clubhouse, where kids run the show. We find out how to locate the sweet spot on a bat, how to spin tracks like Team DJ. And plus, Gary and David Ortiz's son, D'Angelo, face off in round 2 of Batter Up. Don't miss Nesson Clubhouse live, commercial-free, Sunday at noon.
Check this out. When you put a shift on, sometimes there's nobody covering third base. Pedroia thought about hopping up and going towards third. You saw the defender sprinting past him there. Everyone's on the right side of the infield, and someone's got to have the responsibility to get back.
A.J. Brzezinski hooks this into right field for a base hit. They'll stop Pedroia at third as Hayward shows off the arm and guns it back in. So Pedroia gets to third on the second hit of the night for A.J. Brzezinski. Second single of the night for A.J.
Pedroia is talking to Brian Butterfield, the third base coach down there. I don't know if he got blocked. He didn't get the greatest jump on that play right there with one out. He was unable to score on the base hit. He wasn't sure how hard this ball was hit. He thought it might have been a looper that could have gotten caught by Hayward, so he didn't get a huge jump. Watch him hesitate. Now he's going, and by that point he's thinking, I probably can't score. If you're not going right away with Hayward's arm, once again, you got to be held up.
First and third, one down here for Boston, and Johnny Gomes has been on board twice tonight. He singled in the second inning and walked in the sixth. He scored 2 runs tonight for Boston. John Farrell talking about Johnny Gomes for the game. Always likes what he brings to the table and always seems to be in the middle of it all. Really liked the game that he turned in last night in Atlanta.
Yeah. And especially, he's been getting his opportunities against right-handed pitching, and everybody knows that, his best opportunities against the lefties. He hits lefties very well. It's kind of why he's around, but because of the unproductivity of some of the other players, he's getting more of an opportunity to hit against everybody, and you might only go 1 for 4 one day, but that one makes a difference in the game. Great defense too, and I never thought I'd say that. He had a great defensive night last night.
0-2 pitch, line to left for Johnny Gomes, in for a hit. From third base comes Pedroia. It's an RBI base hit for Johnny Gomes, puts the Red Sox on top 4-0.
There you go, just eats up lefties. Boy, we were talking earlier about little leaguers and being more versatile. If you like to play one position, that's great, but make sure you play other positions, because you will bump into a kid who's better than you at that position, and if you can't play anywhere else, you're not going to play. You wouldn't teach anybody to swing the bat the way Johnny Gomes does, but he gets it done.
2 on, 1 away, a run in. Grady Sizemore, the batter. Yeah, at times it almost looks like a half swing. He stops himself somewhere in the middle.
You see some guys with very, very short swings, and that's kind of what he has, but he's very stiff about it. He's got that big hitch in the middle of it. It's just, he's not the guy that you would imitate if you're learning how to play the game, but everybody gets it done a different way. Chase Utley has a very, very short swing. Przinsky has a short swing. They don't have these big, huge follow-throughs like Napoli. Huge follow-through. Przinsky's short. Ortiz, big follow-through.
It's a lot of the catchers on the backswing. Happens a lot.
Yep. Going way back, Bob Horner. Big power, short swing.
Former Atlanta Brave.
Yeah, there you go. Good tie-in. I wasn't even trying to make that tie-in.
Trying to help you out.
Thanks. I'm glad you're here.
Sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, 2 on. In the dirt, and sprawling Gaddis able to keep it in front of him. Tazawa in the bullpen. Looks like he'll be coming on here for the top of the 8th inning. Upton, Gaddis, and Delmott scheduled to bat in the inning. 2-2 pitch. Have to wait. Sizemore backs out as Wood backs off. Capuano still in the dugout, able to get his 2 outs in the 7th inning. Walked a batter, and they got Freddie Freeman to ground out to get out of a bases loaded 2 outs jam.
We talk about high stress innings, high stress pitches, high stress at bats. That was a high stress at bat for Capuano, facing Freddie Freeman after falling behind the 3-1 and 3-2 pitches. He knew he had to challenge him. Capuano doesn't throw more than 90. He's not throwing it by anybody.
Ball 4, and this will load him up for Boston here in the 7th inning. Brady Sizemore with a walk. It is the 2nd walk allowed by Wood since coming in. One down, bases loaded, a run in, and Ryan Lavarnway's 2nd AB of the night. Flied out to left field in the 6th inning, and his pinch hitting role in the 6th coming in for Daniel Nava, who started the game 0 for 2 tonight. Out of his shoes, and that fastball up and away.
Yeah. He was trying to put a 4 spot on the board. Whew.
The other way, but foul, and it's 0-2. Staying away from Lavarnway so far.
And we'll see what type of hitter Lavarnway is now. He's spent his time in the minor leagues with the call up just the other day. See if he shortens down here a little bit, or if he's one of those guys that says, look, I'm going to go up there taking my hacks, whether there's nobody on base or 3 guys on base.
On the ground, chopped to 3rd. Johnson's going to 2nd for 1, on to 1st for 2. They turn the double play. The Red Sox add a run in the inning and lead it 4-0. Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but W.B. Mason? Now back at Fenway Park, 4-0. The Red Sox have the lead over the Atlanta Braves. Move to the top half of the 8th inning. And it is indeed Shinichi Tozawa who comes into the game for Boston. Their third arm used tonight, and his 26th appearance, 1-0 with a 2.35 earned run average, 23 innings, 20 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at 250 against Tozawa. So tonight John Lackey went 6 1/3 innings, giving up no runs. Chris Capuano goes 2/3 of an inning, and he gave up no runs, no hits. He did walk a batter. Not strike anybody out. Big strikeout night tonight for Lackey, who had 9 Ks.
Again.
And it is Justin Upton who leads it off here for the Braves in the top of the 8th inning.
I think Tozawa will show people whether or not he's been a little overworked with the velocity. He usually lives right at 94 miles an hour, which I think would surprise a lot of people. People like to compare him to Koji. Koji doesn't throw nearly as hard.
Got the final out of the 7th inning last night in Atlanta, stranding an inherited runner. Chopped up over the mound. Pedroia to the backhand for the first out of the 8th inning. Well, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse. Tomorrow at 6, we'll profile Mass Mentor Day here at Fenway. Plus, Nick Cafardo will get you caught up with the MLB Notebook. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m., and it's on Nesson.
By the way, that fastball?
94.
Yeah, good guess.
So 1 out here in the 8th.
It's been a long time since I've seen a guy that really is consistently the same number. When he runs it up there, you can pretty much bank on it being 94, which is a nice number.
Last night was his 6th straight scoreless appearance. It's now 5 2/3 without giving up a run. This one fouled off to the right. Dealing with Evan Gattis.
So for the people that don't know, I've kind of hinted at the Evan Gattis story. He was a big prospect coming out of high school, wanted to go to college, and then decided he wasn't having fun playing baseball. He didn't like it. Dropped out, kind of dropped out of life. Spent his time driving around the country for 3 years, living out of his truck. Ended up in Colorado. And by his own admission, spent most of his time drinking and smoking pot. Had some depression issues, went in and out of rehab. And then woke up one day. I mean, he was a janitor. He worked a ski lift. Just odd jobs as a younger kid. Woke up one day and said, what am I doing? Went back to school. And within no time at all, really, few years, here he is, back in a Braves uniform.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. Tozawa gets him 2 down.
Well, Tozawa had to get a little bit extra on this one, and he went upstairs to get it instead of 94. Well, it says 94.
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down in the 8th inning, and Ryan Domet, the batter, he's 0 for 3 in the game tonight. He's popped out, struck out, and flied out. Fouled straight back for strike 1.
I bet almost every guy on that Red Sox bench was thinking that they had put away the winter gear for good.
It's almost June, you know? I mean, really?
Ski hats and blankets.
Fans are ready tonight. Of course, they got the heater going in the bullpen.
We could have used one of those.
Yeah. In there for strike 2, and it's 0-2.
I think you made the smart move by going with the vest instead.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Stay warm.
I have a feeling I may break out another vest tomorrow night. You never know.
Does your vest on the back have the laces that you can tighten up?
No.
No.
Oh, actually, you know what it does?
No,
no wonder it's so tight.
No, that's one. That's just.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's not even. It's fine. I was talking in terms of a corset.
0-2 pitch. Did he go? I think he did.
Come on.
Oh, he didn't go. Bob Davidson said he didn't. I thought he punched at it. That may be why it's so tight.
It's not tight. You look good, man. I'm telling you. You're all Joseph booted out, too, man. You are tight tonight. I mean, in a good way.
Ball and 2 strikes here to Ryan Doman. Swing and a miss. Tazawa with a very solid 1-2-3 8th inning.
Guess he's not tired.
4-0. We'll get you some pop-up facts from Fenway. Brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. Boy, is this it. October 27, 2004. Defoe gets Edgar Renteria to ground out. Back to the mound and to end the Red Sox 86-year championship drought.
What was the statement there? For the words that Red Sox fans have been longing to hear for 86 years?
Something like that. Joe Buck.
Joe Buck. Close.
Jackie Bradley Jr. leading it off here in the last of the 8th inning. Alex Wood back out on the mound, his 3rd inning of relief.
It was so great to get a chance to visit with a few of the guys off of that team, and I think that's really what it is. In the 3 championships that you've seen in this city over the last 10 years, that one, unless I'm wrong, that one had to be the most emotional of all of them because it was the first. And it was the one that gapped the generations of fans that have been waiting for one for so long.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. You played on 2 different stints with the Red Sox. You understand. 4 different stints?
Yeah.
What, I shortchanged you 2? You came back here 4 different times?
4 times, yeah. That was like a bad penny, man. They couldn't get rid of me.
So you went other places and came back here 4 different times?
Yes.
Bradley swings and misses, and they got to throw him out, and they do. Why did I only think it was twice?
I was originally with the Red Sox. They traded me to the White Sox.
Yeah.
I got released. I came back. Then I signed with Atlanta. I got released. I signed with Montreal. Montreal traded me back. Then I signed with the Cubs. Broke my finger. Got released in spring training. Wrote a book. Hung out for a month. And the Red Sox called me back and said, "Do you still want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah." They sent me to AAA for a month. Got in shape. Came back. 4 times.
So where I was going with this was you understand that, for years it was, even no matter how good you're doing at the All-Star break, how are we going to mess this up between now and the end of the season? To have that not happen just one time. Incredible.
Oh, that was sort of the attitude. I mean, I played on the '86 team. It was a done deal, and somehow it wasn't. And wow, you start, the cynicism runs deep after 86 years,
Ball and 2 strikes here to Brock Holt, trying to extend this hitting streak. Came in with an 8-gamer, but 0 for 4 in the game tonight.
He's been pitched very tough tonight. Seen some nasty pitches like that one.
Gets away briefly from Gaddis, and as he actually caught it according to the home plate umpire. So that is back-to-back strikeouts for Alex Wood. 2 down here in the 8th.
Now watch this. This is just a filthy pitch to try to hit. That's why you usually don't.
Yeah, Freddie Gonzalez going to make the pitching change here with 2 outs in the 8th inning, as the Red Sox have a 4-0 lead over the Braves. Four 4-0 Red Sox on top of the Braves as Boston bats here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the new pitcher, Anthony Vivaro, into the game here. His 21st appearance, 1-1, 3.00 earned run average, 23 strikeouts, 3 walks. Opponent sitting at 212. So Vivaro working the series in Atlanta. Xander Bogaerts on base 3 times in the game. He's walked, doubled, and singled. We're striking out in the 6th inning. That's a little bit low. 2-1.
In this game, still certainly got a little ways to go. It's not over with, but I think it's amazing that when you look at the strength of what the Braves have to offer, one of the biggest strengths they have, when you're talking about a team who's got one of the best team ERAs in the National League, it's the back half of their bullpen.
Diving at third, Chris Johnson gets up and then overthrows it and put Freeman up into the air. Safe at first base. Bogaerts. See if they give him credit for his 3rd hit of the night.
Yeah,
nice play there by Johnson. Even get to that ball at third base.
Good first step quickness. You just take a crossover step and dive, gets up, but Bogaerts can get down the line pretty well. Well, Bogaerts' last at bat, he had an opportunity and he swung through a pitch that he thought he was going to hit, but he has swung the bat very well again tonight.
2 down, Xander at first base, and Dustin Pedroia gets his 5th at bat of the day. Pedroia's fly to right, struck out, lined out, and single. Came around to score the Red Sox 4th run. Their insurance run there in the 7th inning. Skips in and got away briefly from Gaddis. He'll throw to second base late, and Bogaerts able to get to second.
I think every guy on the Red Sox knows that Gaddis is having a little trouble defensively, so you take advantage if you can. That one skips away, couldn't find it. And so every guy on the team, if you get on the bases, your thought process is to be aggressive, not to wait around. If you see anything in the dirt, be thinking the next base.
Swing and a miss, and Pedroia fooled on the 2-0 pitch. Ended up getting a changeup. 2-1. Outfield straightaway on Pedroia. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th inning. Johnson, La Stella, and Pena. It is 7, 8, and 9 expected as Breslow continues to warm in the pen.
Before the Bogaerts base hit, what I was trying to make the point of is that once again, so far the Red Sox haven't had to see Craig Kimbrell and David Carpenter. They're 8-9 guys that are just top notch. You don't want to have to see them, and in 3 games so far they haven't.
Swing and a miss and a full count. Changeup's been tough on Dustin Pedroia. 3-2. Bradley Jr. struck out to begin the inning. Holt struck out. It's a good thing if you don't see Kimbrell in a series, and the Red Sox may be a game away from not seeing him in the series.
Keep winning.
On the ground up the middle, ranging is Pena. Is throwing plenty of time to get Pedroia and to end the inning. We head for the 9th from Fenway. It's 4-0 Red Sox. Craig Breslow looks like he'll be coming in. the new Scion TC, Sullivan Tire and Auto Repair, your Subaru dealers of New England, your Honda dealers of New England, and by Southwest Airlines. Back at Fenway Park, 4-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Atlanta Braves. To the 9th inning we go. And fourth pitcher of the night for Boston, Craig Breslow, into the game. 18th appearance, 2-1 with a 5.29 earned run average. 13 strikeouts and 10 walks. Opponents hitting at .313 against Breslow. And he comes in here to face the bottom third of the Braves order. As Chris Johnson will lead it off against Breslow. Well, last night Breslow got the first 2 outs of the 7th inning in Atlanta to earn his first hold of the year. After Sunday giving up 5 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. It was a career high. This inside for ball 1. Johnson 0 for 3 in the game tonight. He has struck out twice and grounded out to first base. To center field, Bradley Jr. coming in fast, but it's going to fall in for a hit. Get kind of a late break and froze out there in center. And Johnson dunks that into center field.
Tough ball to read right there off the end of the bat. You see Jackie Bradley right at the top of your screen. He plays a fairly shallow center field, but he can't quite get the beat on that one.
Lead runner on here for the Braves in the 9th inning. Tommy La Stella, a couple of hits tonight. Has returned to the majors, 2 for 3. Those singles. Now Koji is up in the bullpen. Very much available tonight, as it turns out, after saves on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that with the 4-run lead, they didn't have to bring him in a save situation, but they're going to have him ready in case Breslow gets in any trouble here.
This is hit better. Bradley Jr. back and there to make the catch for the first out of the 9th. Well, stay tuned tonight following WBX Trinnings for Red Sox Final, presented by Esurance. TC and Eck will have viewer tweets tonight. Use hashtag Sox Final to get your tweet on the air. Plus, they'll preview Jake Peavy's start against the Braves tomorrow. 1 on, 1 out, and Ramiro Pena coming up here for Atlanta. Pena singling in the 3rd, fly to center in the 5th, and singled in the 7th. Fourteen of the 17 previous appearances that Breslow has had this year have been scoreless. Fouled off to the right, out of play. 0-2. Tazawa worked the 8th inning in a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. John Lackey, the pitcher of record for Boston right now on the winning side, came in at 5-3 with 6 1/3, giving up 8 hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 9. Very solid outing tonight for John Lackey. In the air to shallow right. Sizemore coming in and under to make the catch for the 2nd out of the 9th inning. Johnson back to the bag at first with 2 away.
Breslow certainly has a singular purpose here. He had Pena 0-2, and he still came with fastballs that were strikes. Wasn't trying to waste anything, wasn't throwing any breaking balls, just said, let's go.
Jason Hayward 1 for 4, a single in the 5th inning. One of the 9 hits put together by the Atlanta Braves. Broken bat pop-up, sending Brock Holt back to make the catches. The Red Sox win. Hayward pops out, and the Red Sox are able to shut out the Atlanta Braves, and they have now won 3 in a row against the Atlanta Braves. So the Red Sox tonight with a nice victory, and they're able to shut out Atlanta. Again, John Lackey is the winner to pick up his 6th win of the year as Boston wins tonight. We will step aside, come back with more from Fenway Park right after this.